volcano with concentrated effect and burgeon, which is the bonus for channeling. So you channel up a big volcano, it drops down, keeps doing a bunch of damage. You throw down the contagions and the essence drain and the frost bomb. And then they have, of course, the talisman for moving around in wolf form too, and now going straight into the Draven fight. And you can see that concentrated effect damage on the volcano there is really good.
Yeah, it's super effective. And you can also see Angormus fighting the consort as well. And you can see him switching over to the bear form. The reason for that is that you use Mole for building up your rage, which gives you additional attack damage. Eventually, that's going to be, I think,
Ooh,
something roar
that was a big
that
crossbow
gives
for
you max.
Angormus there. Is
Oh,
that
nice.
it was like 83% IPD. We probably have to take a bit of a look at that one a little bit later. He's not quite ready to equip that just yet,
Mostly works.
Right, there we
big
go.
Already
crossbow for
having used
Angormus.
the skip.
Looks like we got everything
Already
all
having used
set,
the skip,
friends.
mostly works is up to Lachlan.
So fast.
Surely he's not gonna get hit here. Nice dodge. A lot of the grenade players are relying also on stuns. Not as many stuns coming out from the druid. You can see he's gonna be skipping the quest item as you don't really need it. You need it if you need the hooded bro. But for speed run, they can't waste time going over to the hooded guy to get his stuff ID'd, and you do get it for free anyway in Act 2. So not something he's going to be bothering with, just trying to progress as quickly as possible. You can see Angormus now taking a more ranged approach to. Oh, sorry, Exile taking a more ranged approach to his Lackland fight. And wow, that's a big difference already, no?
There we go.
Angormus,
We're off and
he's
going.
going to be fighting Draven. Exile
Yeah, the
already over to Lackland.
mostly works on the druid. Taking the official first Lachlan kill is very impressive. We're seeing a super strong early game from druid here. It does have that mostly works has like a really nice 60% spell damage staff, but I'm still impressed at how well this early game druid is going here, and I hope that we see them throughout the race. Because I'm very excited to see that mixture of classes there. If we have three classes competing here, that's going to be really exciting stuff.
Movement
But
speed boots for
oh,
Exile.
oh, very nice pick up there.
So we're about
Verse getting his
16,
Draven down
17
pretty
minutes
well,
in.
it
This
looks
looks
like here.
sick.
Just has to secure that final grenade rotation, should have it. Of course, it can be a little tricky with the grenades as you do have to place them in anticipation of where Draven is going to be doing his
So I'm
other
very
minion
surprised
stuff,
by the druid. The
step
druid's moving
around
really
combo.
quick
Picks up
with
another
the mercenary in the
super,
bottom
super close
left
call
just
there,
right
but he's
next
already
to
got
him.
one loaded and ready to go. I'm getting word from production here in the background as well. For those of you watching live on Twitch and not the VOD later,
Dang, he's already on the
Twitch
Great
chat's
Hunt.
now enabled. I didn't even know there was going to be some. That's cool news. You watch any PoE2 stream for 30 minutes in the next 24 hours and you get
So if he
live
does
chat
this
prompts.
fight
So
pretty
easy
well,
now.
he has a pretty good commanding lead
Oh,
going
he'll
into
kill
Act 1.
most
This
Prize
fights
guy
with
drops
those
sucks.
commanders, but
actually? What the hell?
yeah,
I
price
was gonna
drops.
I
There
was
you
gonna
go. A nice bonus. You know, we're all here
what?
for Kill Monster Fast, but we can get some footprints as well at the same time. I like the choice of footprints for that as well. Makes
Let's
sense.
Alright,
go.
Agnormoss is
Absolutely. That's
finally out of the cemetery.
that's
Very
the way to
good.
do it.
And then our Huntress is a
All right.
little
Well, we
behind
have the
because they've been
first kill
EXP
of
farming, but they
Huntress
might
on
catch up
Lachlan
because
as
the
well.
Huntress in
Yeah,
Act 2
let's
does
go.
very,
He's a
very
little bit
well.
slower.
So this
He
is
is
kind of
searching
crazy
for
to
weapons. You
watch.
can see I can read all of that perfectly. He does manage to find a pair of gloves with some damage, so that's going to definitely be very helpful. It is super effective on his
Yeah,
speed,
this is crazy to
especially
watch.
as
These
it is
guys
a
are
one hit
so
versus
fast. I've watched
moving forward with
Agnormus in the
weapons.
past. He's very
Definitely
good.
makes the gloves more effective than something like
Mostly
a
works going with the
crossbow.
Druid for the
He
speed
found
run.
those
Is
two words
kind of the
finding the
anomaly
kill
here. Most
well,
people don't.
taking his
But
time,
he's
just
in
waiting
first
here
right now
to
doing
use
really
some skill
well.
points. And yeah, skill points are very important. Players are very
And it looks like
certain
he's
what
doing
kind
a
of
Essence
level
Drain
they're going to be
Contagion to get
needing.
through Act 1,
And
along with
part of
using
that
the
is
leaps
trying
from
to
the
use
early
a lot of
werewolf to get
passage
its movement
points
speed up.
to
So
be
he's not
able
really
to
attacking in wolf form
progress. And also, production is telling
because
us
it's too
that
slow to stand and attack. So he's
on
just hitting down his
Exile,
Essence Draining Contagion, and
significantly
then he's
ahead of
jumping
mostly
over.
works in regards to
But he's
XP,
already in
which makes
farmlands.
sense because you do
We'll see
need to
what they
keep up
do
the
on the King of the
aspect,
Mist
which
fight.
shows you
See if
more
they take that
of
spirit
the
early or not.
mercenary. I don't think the druid
I've watched them
has
skip it
anything
before.
other than that volcano in their arsenal,
But yeah,
especially
mostly
which
works
is not
20
doing
minutes in at
better than
Ogam
Draven. And yeah,
Farmlands is pretty
skips it.
quick and crazy,
Interesting. Okay, let's go.
which is really, really insane to watch.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about that XP differential there because it could be, like you said, about like intentional. I'm trying to XP more, so I'm not progressing as fast. But I was also
Hmm.
thinking about the mechanics of how the druid plays here. With the grenades, you can slap down the grenades on a pack and just keep running. But with the volcano,
Right.
you have to really like
Yeah, this
channel
is
up
very
that
interesting to
volcano,
watch.
try and get the
Hello,
contagion.
Evo.
Contagion
Welcome
is
in.
pretty good, but it does start to drop off. So I wonder if Druid is going to have a hard time keeping up on the XP
So yeah,
gain.
Agnemus
But
just
thankfully,
got to the
later
Crow
on,
Bell
he's
for
maybe
his
got
skill
contingencies
points.
drop off, or maybe this
So
build
did
has got the Crow
Hilo.
themselves. I don't know. It hasn't been a thing
And
we've
then
seen
I
in
am
the past.
Exile, who's here in
It'll be
second
interesting to
place
see
on
how
this
that
third
plays out
screen, and so
between the
doing really
Mercenary and
well
the
and
Druid moving
caught
forward.
up in
But
Ogham
we do
Look at
farmlands.
this
see,
here from Jilua.
But we got
Just
Oakham
pulling the
Village on
ball as close as
mostly
possible
work,
to
so he's
that
about a
goal
minute
while
ahead of
leaving behind.
everybody.
That is one of
About a
the
minute ahead of
advantages
I am
of these
Exile,
twisters.
and
You
then
can still
Julio
keep
and
that
Agnemus
ball
pulling up the
in the
rear.
box as
oh
close
yeah,
as possible.
And they're about 2
And
minutes
boom.
behind.
Yeah, that was just
So
one
he's got about
tornado.
a
And you have
minute
to keep in mind,
minute to
again,
2 minute
they can
lead on
hit
everybody.
multiple times every
Hey, what up, Penny?
0.66
Welcome in,
of a
welcome in.
second. Each one of these tornadoes can hit. So a really big deal as we switch on over to, I think this is LHD. I'm not sure about this player.
we don't. Yeah, we're gonna try and find out what this player is. Their account name is literally the numbers there. So, well, if there's
Not
any meaning to that,
LHD.
it's not
Oh,
LHD. Okay, it could be a mystery
okay.
rage. It does start. I'd just like to point out that the numbers of the account start with 23.
How you doing,
So
Penny? Thanks for the wave. Good to see you.
Um,
I'm just gonna leave that dangling.
um,
But yeah, this is very, very
this
cool
is
to
a very
watch.
familiar number.
Interesting. Where do I remember that number from? Yes. Okay.
Well, he does have a Chinese character name. An
Still,
imposter?
you
Am
never
I
know.
new? No, I've been streaming for about a
The
year.
fact that they're on a huntress means that this might be
So we
hitherto
started
unknown,
in
previously
August
unknown
24th last
mercenary,
year.
but it could be a mystery racer. I don't know. We'll see. But we have a
But this
huntress
race is
moving real
super
fast.
cool to
They
watch.
came.
Ooh, they're
Well,
starting to
I'm going to
catch
call
up
them
to Mostly
23.
Works. Yeah,
23
I'm Exile's
was
pacing
third on
so
the
good.
Lachlan kills there
He's
between
like 20
Amazon and
seconds
Mostly
behind
Works.
I'm Only Works.
So progressing
Or
very fast,
behind
and we're
Mostly
just
Works.
seeing Huntress to start to shuffle up the pack a little bit as we move
Hey,
into the
thanks
latter
for the
parts
waves.
of
Good to
Act
see you,
1,
Emma.
where
Thanks
things
for
get a
popping
little bit
in.
spicy and interesting here as we head through some pretty dangerous zones moving forwards after the Executioner. We have a couple of dangerous zones and then a nice big boss fight, which I've learned some very interesting things about, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's too much stuff I'm excited to talk about in this race. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
this is a
though,
very cool
Mostly Works. Let's
race.
have a look how that
We started
Executioner
about
kill goes
15
there.
minutes
I'm
late from
assuming
the
we're going to
start,
keep them
but that's
on
all
that
right.
channel, that
The fun
volcano, for
fun
one
stuff starts
race.
to happen
Oh,
once they get around Act 2.
advantage is so
That's
good.
huge.
So they'll be pretty
Yeah,
neck
if I
and neck
move
all the
off
way
of it,
through Act
the
1
damage is
here.
like instantly halved, but oh man, it's very
Executioner
rough. So
down by Mostly Works
any sort of
Druid in the
scouting
top
channel
right.
is
He's
going to be
crushing,
so
dude.
much
He is
nicer than that. Or if we
crushing.
can indeed anticipate and pre-place that
That
channel
Essence Drain
ahead of time.
Contagion's just so much faster than the
Essence Drain
crossbow
doesn't
shots.
do
He's not
anything to
having
the
to like stop it
mercenary
all
or
after he
attempt to escape
casts to shoot
bullets at this
stuff.
stage of the game. Even if you
He's
take a
just
break down,
targeting one
he'll just
thing,
do it. And on a
hitting
druid,
Essence Drain Contagion, and then
I
just
mean,
walk into the
usually he's
next
gonna make a
area and just
difference when
watching
he's got
everything melt
struggles and
behind him.
whatnot. But man, that's a ton of damage. That is very cool.
If you're watching the two
Look here,
crossbow guys on the
using a
left
little
side of
bit
the
of
screen,
panic
watch how
right
they have to
there
play with the
with that
crossbow set. So they
contagion.
have
A
to
pretty
shoot, stop,
basic
roll, shoot,
caster
stop,
setup
roll.
for a level
And it's a
3.
little
But
bit
man,
slower
in
of
the
a
right
setup, as
hands,
potent as the
super
damage
effective.
is.
They just have
As
no
where, like,
damage
if
yet
you're
too. I
watching
just want to
Mostly
put that
Work,
out. It's
when
like
he's hitting
there's
stuff with
you
his
got like the
purple
nerfs to
Essence
the
Drain and
sort of like
Contagion, he's able to
annoying
just drop
but
that on a
buffs
couple
that
of
amount
mobs,
damage
get
on
some
them as
EXP, and
well.
keep
And
walking.
probably have a helmet and chest.
You
No,
watch him, bam, bam, he
Druid
hits
has
it.
a
Now
belt,
everything behind him
two
is just going to
boots,
go
an
down from that
amulet,
Essence Drain Contagion.
and the staff. And to be honest,
So
the
he just
belts,
groups
the belt
everything
and
up and
amulet,
he runs through the
probably
whole
not
map.
fun. I think
Mm-hmm.
just the staff.
And then
Oh,
he's
using the
getting a
staff, they
sick
got
amount of
the
movement
Dustin
speed off
Spell
of the
level
Wolf.
26
Very
light
cool
damage,
strategy. That's a
30
new one I've
extra
seen to
lightning
stream
damage,
running.
and 5% live radius, of
Are
course.
you
Very
playing
cool.
Diablo? Hello, Ryan. Welcome in. I am not. We are
That's gonna be a
watching
big deal
Path
for
of
a level 3
Exile
player.
2
They
qualifier races.
unfortunately did
Oh
So
not
this
no.
is their
actually
official
put
qualifying
them.
Oh
races
no,
for
mostly works.
their
That's quite
racing.
nice.
Yeah,
And
you
the
have
goal is to
do
speed run through the
the
entire
reason
game.
why that looks so awkward for him is because you have to click the corpse and then
So I do
slightly
love
move
the
your mouse,
Huntress
which
strategy
allows you to get
with
the
the
jump on top of your
twisters
character rather than up.
and the whirling
That way
slash,
they're
but as you can
floating.
see, it's definitely
You can see
slower.
what
They
they're
are
doing.
pulling
They're
up the
not doing
rear.
it
They're
like that
just now getting to
because they're being
Executioner,
messes there. Yeah,
which is
whereas you can
almost a
just go
minute
grab
and
it
a
wherever.
half behind where the Druid is in the top right.
Which you incorporate into your own campaign.
So it is a
Just
very
like in this
fast
little corner
strategy,
left,
but
you
the
do a quick
mercenaries and the
roll as
Druid
you
strategy, surprisingly,
click
is
between
just
corpse
wrecking
and the
Act
gem
1.
appears on you.
They're a little bit
Nice.
quicker.
Executioner for 23. What kind of
Yeah,
damage
let's
can
see
we
how
see
that
from
works.
this Huntress
I'm
here?
very, very
A
surprised
really
to see
big
a Druid doing
arena.
so
You
well.
have to position him so that your twisters bounce off of
So
the
they're
wall
taking a
over
moment
there.
to go back to
Spread a
town. That
bit
gives
out
I'm
there.
Exile on the bottom left a
Yeah, it's
good
looking like
But
opportunity
not like the volcano
to
at all,
try
is
and
it? It's
catch
like a
up
consistent
to
kind of
mostly
easy
works.
thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
But
fact
we'll
that you can
see.
only hit twice, you also don't really have a whole lot of projectile speed. Later on, you'll get
Oh,
weapons
you gotta
that
talk to
allow
him. You
you to
gotta
get
talk to him.
more
You're
projectile
wasting
speed or
time.
increased projectile speed. And that's going to make a big difference as well. Some increased duration. All of that really comes together for the Huntress. But in Act 1,
Also,
once
if you
again,
guys are on
we can
TTV,
flood
you
the
get
area as quick as
free
Hamexile
drops for your
now
PoE
finding another
account.
league mechanic
So
gets
make sure
that,
to
I
watch from the
believe,
TTV
guaranteed
side. If you play Path of Exiles, you
SCP
get free
from
things for
the
it.
ramparts. With Angormus in the top left, a
it-
tremendous amount of damage. Wow.
Yeah, and
Until
almost
it
getting
is
a chance
until
now to check
interlude's
the damage
finished.
of that
Yeah. So they usually
Oh!
either go Act 4 or interlude. I
Wait,
think
is
this
that
one is
the
interlude,
high-speed
Ra.
spear
By
that
the way,
Angormus
welcome in,
killed?
Ra.
No, surely that's the other one.
I think it's the like planty looking one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the guaranteed
Yeah, this
play
is
one.
very
Not
interesting
sure
to watch.
though.
If you've never played Path
Just
of
like making
Exiles
use
2,
of that one.
what they're doing is
Yeah,
very,
so
very
that
He
difficult.
sells it,
It
yeah.
takes
it
the
was much
common
of
person
investor
2
goals that,
hours to 2.5
showing
hours to
that
get through
was
Act
really
1.
been interested in,
And these
but
guys are going to be
not so
sub
much
30
for
minutes to beat all of
yeah.
Act 1, or close to
Not
it.
Yeah,
sure
I'm
if
gonna
that's
have to.
the. I
Like
mean, it is
mostly
a bit of
works at 26:30 is in the
because
last
you
area
have to use multiple different
before you take on the Act 1 final boss.
skills. It is a really big deal.
All right, our
Spears
Huntress
don't
is
have to
starting to
be
catch
good,
up a little
but
bit.
you need to
I Am
use
Exile is
a
right
protected
behind
spear or a willing slash.
mostly works. He is
Just as I
literally
was
just like a
thinking, the
floor away
damage
in
and
the same
crossbow from
area.
Angormus goes down on the
He's
mana
minimized the
ramparts, on the 7
druid's
mana
lead by
ramparts, and
15
the map
seconds.
itself can be quite dangerous, and Angormus is
But
definitely
yeah, your big 2
feeling
to watch right
that
now are
now, so I have
mostly
to
works
stand
and I
still
Am
for
Exile
2.5
on the
minutes
top
now,
right and bottom
and cross
left.
production is absolutely ruthless, despite
They're
Angormus
your leaders
breaking
right
away
now.
into our hearts over the past 4 seasons,
Wow.
immediately cut
Your
from the
top
stream
left
in
and
favor
bottom
of
right are
Woodish, a
both
newcomer to the
still a
scene,
complete zone
previously
away.
Last Epoch Racing fame, having won an
Your
Aberoth
top left
kill
just made it to
in
Ogam Manor,
last
which is Woodish, your
year
mercenary.
for a race event. They run like five grand in a hardcore race. A good
And
racer,
now
and
this is
you'll
just
see
neck
this
and
every
neck,
now and then where
right?
you've
Like
got like
your
a player
druid
that's
is
just
neck and
good at
neck with
esports
the
in general,
mercenary in the
and they
bottom
come over to
left.
PoE2 and they start practicing like crazy, and they have what it takes to like become good at the game
So
more
his
efficiently.
lead has
And
gotten
that
diminished. The
is
I Am
apparently Woodish,
Exile has
because
kept up very,
brand
very
new
well.
to Path of Exile 2
We'll
racing,
see who gets into the Act 1 boss
apparently
fight
beat
first.
Angormus to maps in a hardcore private event recently. I believe it was like the Timmy League or something, and now is on the stream here. So very cool, playing a mercenary and on their way to Count Geonor.
But yeah, if you also
At least
want
the works is
details on
already
these types
there.
of races,
So
Rod, you
good
can
progress
also
for us
go
so far.
into the
That works.
Yeah, so is this
you can
Matt
go into the
Woodsworks'
forums on
first
Path of
stream
Exiles, and
for
all their
Act 1
official
post
releases for this
SCX
type of stuff is all
2023
right
in
there for
Exile
you.
and Woodish, and the first to fight Geonor here. And okay, so I'm going to tell you about the tech.
Hey, what up, Astrid? Welcome
How to
in.
skip the poetry phase has been discovered. If Geonor is in the center of the arena, they won't do the poetry phase. Now, that is not as easy as it sounds, because if you have them in the center to begin with, then they'll do their movement, their attacks, which all have a ton of movement.
All right, so we got the Druid on Geonor first. He's about halfway through phase 1.
So like have them just off center and then
So at halfway, Count Geonor does phase into its second phase here. He is going to go through a series of attacks first, and then he's now going to phase into his wolf form.
Because obviously the poetry phase is a huge time cost. It takes like 30 seconds or something. That damage from most of the works is insane.
And there it is.
I've heard multiple people within the last week.
Ooh, and I Am Exile took like a bad route. He's very far behind.
Players are familiar with.
The first Act 1 clear, as long as Drew doesn't go down here with mostly works, he's going to get the Act 1 kill first.
I have to say, all of these,
oh, well, thank you, Ra. I love my puppers. He's just hanging out, chilling in the afternoon. It's normally his nap time. So you'll see him probably take a good nap.
We think this works, and then one day it doesn't.
Yeah, see how they're showing mostly works because he's so far ahead. Here's the Geonor kill. He just has to survive.
Oh my god.
Oh, he takes an ultimate, lives it just fine,
Look, just stuck
and
on
rips it.
Maximizing that volcano damage. Crazy fast Geonor kills. I mean, that's the alternative way of not getting a poetry phase, right? Just kill it.
That's a beautiful skill setup, yeah. So what he's doing on bosses is he's putting Essence Drain on it with its contagion and then dropping volcanoes when he gets them stuck in specific spots just to rip damage on him. That's very cool build from the Druid setup. So he's really utilizing a couple of different things from the staff setups and then having a Talisman to go into that wolf form and use some of the different movement skills.
Not quite sure.
I think it's very smart in what he's doing.
Checking out the DPS, making sure that he drops all of the gems he doesn't need anymore. Fragmentation rounds, no longer necessary for the round for the gameplay. I don't see gas grenade for Exile.
Wow, that is a very quick from I Am Exile.
This is a big deal.
That was a very quick.
I don't think he's level 14 on Geonor. That is really unusual, as you do get a lot of XP.
Exile's level 12, yeah. There you go.
Level 12?
Hi,
That's
Rain.
amazing.
Welcome in.
Wait, we've never seen that on the mercenary. They
So,
always
Rain,
go
this
for
will
the
be a
force.
different kind of
It's the
stream than our
best.
social hangout. We are casting a race qualifiers round.
You get level 14 or you don't do any damage.
So this
People are
is for
even
Path of Exile
already
speed
like
racing.
experimenting with like perfect
And we're in a very,
strikes, which
very
make it
specific
as good
spot
as
where they're all
competitive
fighting their
as
Act 1 bosses, and this is a very
super
difficult boss.
interesting stuff.
The
Woodish
skill you just
on
saw him
MSP
use is called
also
Requiem.
bottom left. You can see
And Requiem is one of the biggest killers in Path of Exile's
What?
one on this boss if those
You can
hit.
see multiple players fighting. Junior
Yeah, so we are
getting a
casting a
big
Path of
load of
Exile's
enemies
race
dropped on his
qualifier right
head.
now.
Takes a
So this
huge
is a
chunk
Path
his
of Exile
HP
speed
away.
race.
But yeah, the damage not looking nearly as good without that gas grenade. Obviously, the set it comes with its own set of advantages. And you can also see on the Huntress that 23 is taking down that statue boy, which will yield additional HP and any amount
Cool.
of additional defense.
Hey, what up, Bryce?
Super
Welcome in.
important on this melee playstyle that the Huntress has fully committed to. Woodish with the Wyvern form on a mercenary.
Yeah, we're
Cool.
seeing we're going to be seeing probably a fair bit of the Wyvern stun into rend for the lightning
Ooh.
damage buff on the mercenaries. It seems
He's
to be
almost got him. Here
becoming
comes
quite
Requiem on
staple,
high.
whereas the mercenaries
You
can
got
be
That is
really
the
this.
good
killer.
to
That is
stun
the killer
and then
right
take
there.
advantage of it. Genor dying so hard.
Dang,
but
Woodish got him.
flying
Woodish
slightly
got him.
getting
That
out
was
of
so
there.
good. Ah, puppy
Woodish
dog.
getting a very fast kill. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're seeing despite
And
these
then, as you
tokens,
can
this seems to
see,
be
you
doing
got
the
I'm
same. If you just
Exile,
kill them fast enough,
who is
get
already in Act
anywhere,
2
Yeah, I'm
behind
not
Mostly
fast enough,
Works.
that
lol.
poetry phase anyway, it turns out.
Yeah, this is very
nice
cool stuff,
headshot
Hippo.
going on.
I did post the link in
So
our
this could be
PoE
a very
part of the
dangerous
Discord
fight.
for you if you wanted to
Sometimes
watch it
even more
separately,
dangerous than
Hippo.
PUBG, or
But yeah,
you can
you're
come
welcome to
directly
come
to
watch
fight.
here
And
with us
Rathbreaker is
as
not
we cast
afraid
this.
to be like, yeah, I know I'm not an act boss, but first boss, welcome
Yeah,
to
look
Act
at
2.
Wrathbreaker, dude. He
Yeah,
is just
but
ripping that
I'm
guy.
seeing
So
Genor do
Wrathbreaker
a
is one of
good
the
job
really
of just
tough
keeping
bosses in the
close
game that
and close
has
to that
a lot of
volcano.
really
This really does
hard-hitting
not have
physical
incredibly much
attacks.
damage, but does
And
not
the
take you
Druid did
down.
a
And obviously
really
you
good
can
job
stay
in
right
just
at the
ripping
peak of
him.
that. And the wolves just kind of
32
keep
minutes
continuing
in,
to
I
they're
was
in Act
watching a
2.
figure give the
avoid the loop
comments.
and then get out of there safely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you,
Effectively,
Hippo, for
so
coming over, coming to hang with us as we do this for the next
First
4 hours.
Huntress approaching the Junior fight as well. So once again, you are sacrificing quite a lot of time.
Yeah, make sure to get your daily heart me's in if you're enjoying all this. I'm having a blast with y'all.
You're going to be able to
Are you
skip
going
a
to
lot of
play any
monsters
games
and
tonight,
go
though?
into those final
Yes,
bosses
I will be
with a
doing
lot
more
less
World of Warcraft tonight,
HP.
and then we're going to
Maybe even
switch
the
back to Power
fight
World
gonna
for
get
Friday
pushed
night as
up
we
a
get
bit.
ready
Let's
for
see
Ultra
here.
Raid weekend.
It will be a different playstyle. As much as it
This
is
just
melee,
kind
you
of
can
came up
actually
as a
All
thing
three
to
of these
do.
guys are
get
fast.
further away from the
Yeah,
wall
the Huntress
compared
is
to
actually
Druid,
doing
but
really,
this
really well.
one in the center
Even though she's only on
is
Act
doing
1 in
that right
33
now.
minutes,
Maybe this is
she
the
really
damage
takes off
multiplication
in
you
Act 2, and
mentioned
she'll go much,
that
much
allows me to
faster.
avoid the
Yeah.
poetry phase.
And she'll
Not
start
something you
making
have
up ground in
to
Act
worry
2.
about in phase
So the
1.
Huntress, don't
Once
count her
phase 2
out yet.
approaches, you do want that boss
Uh-oh,
really in
Mostly Works
position
just crashed,
Yeah, he
so
did
that's
get
killing
kicked
his
off.
lead for
anyways.
sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of movement skills going on in this fight. So if you can
A
wrangle
charge
it
into
and
charge.
you learn the movement and steps for some of those combos.
Wow.
Yeah, look, he's got Gino back in the center of the arena. So this is maybe something that 23. This looks intentional, right? Like they definitely seem to be kind of drawing them back into the center of the arena there. It might also just be kind of pretty good for the Twisters.
I am shocked for Warrior
Because you
this
can
time.
somewhat get
I
that
am not.
balance back.
Warrior does
You
really
kind of
good
want
up
him in
to
the
a certain
center,
point.
but kind of
Yeah.
a little bit
And when you
off
get into the
once
interludes,
you
there are
spend
some
a
pressure
bit
points
more
I think
without
the
gear.
center
defense.
to me is like an indicator, right? Like
I
the
think
one-two
Huntress
punch
is a very,
That's
very good
exactly
pick for
true.
this. It's not going to be the fastest, but I think
Ooh,
it's
that
going to
was
be
a
the most
really nice, like,
consistent. The
interrupting
Druid,
beam
I'm
there.
the
It was
most
so,
interested in.
they were like so confident that was going to work.
Oh,
That
and our
they
Druid dropped
were just
off.
right there and taking the beam.
So he
Was he
dropped
for
off into
parry
5th
these?
because of his
He did
crashing,
parry
so they
again.
put
He
one of
was
the
hitting some
other
good death teams
mercenaries
like
in.
that. I don't know. I'm not
But
sure
yeah,
if
you
that
still
works
have
in
a
the back, but
Huntress
either way,
taking
both doing
4th
very
place
cleanly,
among the
actually.
others.
The big thing too is that on a Huntress, obviously you want to parry because that allows you to use Claws of Frost, which
Yeah, this is
drops
very, very
the
cool.
chilling ground, which slows down the boss, and it's super important. But the big thing on a Huntress is that you
Yeah,
have
the
to
crash, hate to
always
see it,
want to
man. It's the
min-max
worst.
your HP as much as
Oh, I'm glad you're
possible.
having a good
Still
time, Rob.
something
Make
that
sure
you're
to
gonna be
sub on the
worrying
channel
about,
if you're
but
having a
the
blast
boss is
with
just
us. Always
slightly
happy
off.
to have you
But
along as we
because
play
the
and do
carry
different
is
gaming
based off
things.
of the amount of HP that you've got, there are
I will
situations where you
try and
simply
get on
don't have
Power
enough
World
HP,
tomorrow. I
and
just
our
have a hair
players will
appointment.
know that if
Sounds
they
good,
parry
Rain.
I got
here,
my
they will
tuber
get
set up,
stunned.
hahaha.
And that is something that
Nice,
they have to
Dave. I
avoid.
like it. I like
Now,
it.
as they are in Act 2, it's going to be very important important on 100.
Yeah, the crash was rough
You
to
go
see,
through
poor guy.
certain,
It
set of
popped him out
steps
of the
that will
top
allow
4.
you for a much bigger
So just so you guys know, there isn't just 4
that's
racers
finding
going.
the
I think
event
there's about
selected
100 going, and they're
or
only
click through
broadcasting the
the
top 4,
that will give you
and they're
fast steps
keeping an
to
eye
that,
on who
to
the
allow
top
you
4
to
are and putting
properly
them into
unload and
screen
show
for
your
us to watch.
character different abilities.
So
With
the
Guiding
Huntress, the
Slash,
fact
you're
that
gonna also
she
lose
is
your
in the
life
top
as
4
well,
right
so
now,
you're gonna
and
be
she's
losing her.
very, very slow in Act
As it
1
happens
is
when
very
Druid starts
promising.
with
This is a very
Saros.
good start to a run.
What happened
Because
with
as you're
Druid?
watching her, watch her
I know
go over
mostly
Act
works
2.
is
She's
dead
so strong.
because he's standing still for at least a minute and a half more.
Yeah. There's, I believe we might have missed that during
Man,
the
this makes me
review.
want to go
That's
back
a
to
lot
play
of
our
people.
hardcore series.
I had a bit of, I think he
Yeah,
had a
it's super
crash and
crazy.
died there, or died and log out or something. So we might have actually missed that.
So I think for next
Unfortunately,
season on
so it's
Path of
good we've been
Exiles, I
able to
think
just
we're going to
have
do
a
hardcore only.
thing there for a
Oh,
bit.
we had a production crash, and that's when he died. So that's why we missed
Okay.
him.
He died
Not
during
that he
our
crashed.
crash.
Yeah,
No, he
yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Our spectator client crashed. Do apologize for that. So we're unsure of what happened, but mostly works. Experiencing an upset in the mines, plenty of places to get body blocked and wrecked, and that might have been what has happened. Unfortunate upset for them. They had been very strongly in the lead. This gives a little bit of a chance for the players to catch up, but still something they can absolutely come back from.
Oh yeah, there's mostly
So we'll
works
see
back, so
how
they got him
Huntress will get
reconnected back. He's good to go
into
now.
the race here in
Oh
just
my
a
gosh,
moment.
he's already going to the Modwin Quarry.
So the Huntress on Wrathbreaker, but this is
So
like
he's
does not
still
seem
like
to
in
be
third
this
place
good.
after a
Wrathbreaker's been
2-minute
like the big
crash.
hit of
That's
the
how
spears
far
and
ahead he
everything.
was. That's
Yeah.
so crazy.
I was about to say he immediately
Bro,
moved
he's
him.
still in
That's
this
not
for sure.
particularly good. As keeping
Yeah,
him
that's rough.
on the top of that ramp really helps you a lot. And this is pretty much the final boss when you still have to use Claws of Frost for that chill, and things aren't nearly as
So yeah, he does
automated
get a time
as
penalty
they
for the
are going
crash
to
as
be in the
well.
future.
But
More
he'll do
about
just
this,
fine.
but you're going to be seeing a lot more damage as mostly everybody is progressing through the mountain quarry, including
And I
Who is
think
in
with the
first place?
finally
currently it's
that
between Woodish and I'm
low
Exile.
life form.
They're
He's gonna
both
be
at
running
pretty
around.
similar
You can
points
see it kind of looks like he's
right before
spamming
Modwin Quarry.
his space bar
So
to
on
get
your
some
left side
health,
of the
but it is
screen are going to be your
just
2
slightly
and
faster
first. You
than the
just had
sprint, but
Huntress
most
join that
importantly,
zone, which
it's
is not
safe.
far
Every
behind.
now and then you're gonna
And
get
then
nice
Mostly
jumps
Works
there
is
to get
also
those
in that
blocks, and
same
you get
zone, just a
awesome
little bit
achievements
ahead
like
of our
some pull
Huntress right now.
skips. I don't think we've showcased it here,
Do
but
you
for
also speedrun?
Wrathbreaker,
I don't
you can
speedrun,
jump
but I
from
do a
below
lot of
up to
hardcore. We
Wrathbreaker when
recently
the
delved into
path is
hardcore for the
targetable,
0.5
and that
update, so
allows
we
you
do
to
play
do nice
hardcore.
skips. So
And our
already
average
a lot of
hardcore time
enthusiasm.
getting through
W
the
speed run.
campaign is
Some
about
of our
8 to 10
Huntresses are
hours,
going to be
so
getting
we're
some
not very
milestones
slow
later
at it.
on
We
too,
do it very
either with
quickly.
Thunderous Leap or that's
So
probably
we
depending
definitely
on
aren't as
when
fast
they
as
are
these
going to
guys
be
for
able
sure,
to
but we
fully
definitely do a
commit
lot of good
to
hardcore content, teach people different
werewolf
things about
form
the
as
game.
well. But that is
I've
something that
got
is a really big
8,000
deal
hours in
for
Path of
druids and
Exiles
for
1 and a
mercenaries.
couple thousand
And
into Path
you
of
don't
Exiles
need to
2.
use your second weapon, which
We
allows you
put
to
out
use a
build guides. We
talisman
do a ton, a
and
lot of good
allows you
stuff for
to
the PoE
use
community. It's our
werewolf form
favorite place to be
early.
when it's in
How are you
And the
season.
doing
way
today?
Huntress gets around that is that she picks up
I'm
armor.
doing
It's
super
pretty
good.
nice. You
I'm
get to leave a lot
enjoying.
of
I get to
movements and
watch
nodes on the tree,
people
and
do
that
my
lets you
favorite
keep
game
track
at the
of that
highest level
also.
in campaign. I'm
And
just so
yeah,
happy,
a lot of damage coming
to
out
be honest
from
with
those
you,
two
Ed.
spears.
Yeah, I'm looking
Man,
forward to
that
seeing just
Essence
how
Ring
smooth
Contagion
that
is good.
Huntress looks. Yeah,
It's
it's
big.
nice when you're actually playing a character that gets a bit of scaling
I'm
for it.
glad.
It's
Mostly
so
what's been
good.
considering with that little pause there was them pausing and deciding if they wanted to reset a checkpoint, but they decided
I
to
can
keep
tell.
going and stick with it there. Does manage to get out of the
Let's see what they're
situation.
doing here.
Meanwhile, 23 does opt for the reset
So
after getting into a slightly
they're
bad
still in the
position there
Modwin
with less than
mines.
half health. And
He's squishy. Mostly Works is so
yeah.
squishy. 230
Yeah,
something
they're all
life.
just
This
so
seems the
close right
streak
now.
is
There's
less
like
than
hardly
200
any
HP.
separation in the top four right now.
I was saying before that I had literally no gear on. It might still be the case.
Right.
Like the
But
Huntress is caught up to the other
Yeah,
mercenaries,
right.
the
Our
Druid is caught
players
up to
are
the other
always
mercenaries. They're all
really
pretty neck and
trying
neck
to
right now.
min-max
but
three
I
major
didn't
elements.
put any gear on. Okay, this is definitely going to come back to bite them because 240 hit points right now is not enough for almost anything to be survivable. So you're just going to be going for the don't get hit for herb strategy, which
Sounds promising. Going
maybe
to keep an eye
resets
on your
them for
future
druids.
output.
You can
Yeah,
just
definitely do.
maybe
We
have
stream
a
5
guide to
days a
have it
week,
lined up for later.
sometimes 6 raw. We have a
But
bunch
that's
of fun.
we'll
Right
have
now,
to.
we're playing a ton of Power World and World of Warcraft
But
until we
yeah,
get back into Diablo
My
and
niece
Path of
was
Exile
driving me
season.
crazy
That's why
today.
it's
So we'd love to have you come hang out with us.
it's a lot
We're
of
on, of course,
gold
the tubes where
in
you are. We're on
Stronger.
TTV and also TikTok, and we're streaming on all 3 all the
So
time.
we've just seen the transition away from Volcano. Volcano has been completely dropped on the ground and
And
just
yeah,
been
TikTok is
discarded.
going to
What
be
we're
our
seeing
main place
now
where we just
is
have the most
Burden
activity
and
going on,
Zenith,
friend.
which is that 30% more damage if your
Niece
mana
was
is
giving you a hard
high.
time
So
there,
you
Rain.
top that mana up and then
Oh, and
start
thank
that
you for all the
charge, you get that
likes. My
gigantic
favorite
boost
hippo,
in
Hey.
you the
damage,
best.
and
Smiley Smiley Sarah, welcome into our cast of Path of Exiles.
Very impressive.
Thank you for that daily heart me. You're too sweet. I appreciate you.
So we're seeing the super interesting Druid.
You're the
game.
bestest.
Hi, Girly Pop.
I'm very happy with
Lewis,
that.
welcome in, welcome in.
But do keep in mind, again, there's 3 major
Okay, we
ways
got the
of doing
Huntress
so.
through. Wow, the
One,
Huntress is
you
gaining so
min-max
much
because of
ground on him.
progression. How quickly are you getting past everything? Your XP, how much XP you're getting while you're trying to progress as quickly as possible. And then also gear. And gear is a major
So yeah, if
aspect,
you're looking
especially
at
Dodge,
who's in the lead, it's your
in
top
Act 2.
left and your
This is
bottom
when you
right
get
just
the
took the lead.
Vanished Crossbow at
They
level
are going
16.
very, very
Then you're pretty
fast.
much always going to be checking vendors.
So you guys
And
are
you just need to
watching. The
see the
Huntress was
bottom
in
line.
fourth.
If
She's
you
closer
get
to.
the
She's tied for
crossbow
first right
early,
now with
which you will
the
protect you
Wootish
all the way
top
until
left
level
mercenary.
33 when you start using that bombard.
So the
So you're
Huntress
going to
really
start
excels in
chasing
Act
some
2 and
mercenaries
Act
that
3 with what
don't
they're
have a lot
doing
of
with Twister.
currency,
It's a very,
hopefully,
very quick
into a
build
crossbow. I say
that moves you
hopefully
very
because
fast to
that
get
would
through stuff.
indicate that they found a crossbow that is
And if you're
good enough
watching, see
to
how they
actually
don't
conquer
destroy every
the rest
mob
of
they
the
come
world. And
across.
just
They
like the
very
Huntress
nicely
Huntress is
over
going
dodge.
to
here,
win.
you can use a few blacksmith stones. But in
I
order
don't
to
know.
keep
The
those echoes
mercenaries
down,
historically
you're
have
going to be
won
switching
this.
over
So
to another
mercenaries do have a
gear.
very
I
high
feel.
track record for
Spears can do
winning.
this
But
too.
yeah,
You can
Huntress still is
salvage that
very, very
weapon
quick
to
once you
get
get
those
outside of
blacksmith
Act
stones
1.
for free back.
She has
So
a
that
very
really
good,
does cost you
and she
naturally,
did a
especially
very,
using that
this
long gun.
specific Huntress did a
But
very,
it
very
is
good
all of these
job
things are
in
super
getting through
important to
Act 1
min-max because
around
in every
32
scenario,
minutes,
and not
which
nearly as
only put her
important
2 minutes behind going
to
into Act
optimize
2,
with a
which is a
Huntress.
big,
You
big
just
deal.
want attack speed with a fast base. That's all that you care about. And then every extra damage that you get on your weapon swap for the Twister, that's going to be something that you're going to have to worry about another day.
But yeah, for the raw damage, if you just
For Druid,
watched what
apparently
they
you
just
don't
did in
need
the
any
bottom left,
damage.
I'm Exile just literally
Does not.
exploded the screen. So
Yeah,
that's where
it's
like
pretty
the
wild.
mercenaries do really
Yeah,
well.
spraying on
Their
Wootish and
explosions
then
with Herald of Ash are
going.
very,
Because
very
like you said, that
crazy
tier
early
16
on,
weapon
and
is
that's
very
what
big.
pushes them through the
It's basically
campaign
like
so
level
quick with
16
their
and then they get to that
arrows,
level 31 that they go
with
for.
with all the
Taking
different
all the
fragmented
level
rounds and
1.
the
Really
ice
grounding
rounds.
crossbow with some decent little bits of damage there, lined up for level 20. Not strong enough to be carrying you through until
Oh,
the
and we have
end game
another Huntress
events
that
to
joined
see you
us.
through.
Right.
Sometimes you can
So we had
find
another Huntress take over.
level 16 crossbow
Wow.
that's well rolled
I
enough that
got
you can
candy
actually just
again
use that
today.
through to the
So
end.
Julio is back
Can be a
in
little
with
rough, just
our
amazing.
bottom right Huntress, and they are
Julio
both in the
and
Helani gates
33
already.
entering the
That's what I
dungeons
was
right
talking
now.
about.
They
Act
do
2,
have a
those
slow
Huntresses
time.
go so fast.
A little bit of min-maxing here. They might be
Very
resetting
nice. Glad
checkpoint
you're
to reset
getting all
items so that
candied
she
up there,
doesn't get
Rain.
stuck at times. And yeah, with the Huntress,
By
you
the
can
way,
see that
welcome
they're
in
skipping a lot of
everybody. I see
monsters
Buckeye coming to hang,
and
Soul.
trying to
Glad
line
to
them
see you
up
guys come
with
over and hang
big
out with us
Twister
as we
and
cast
as
today.
many packs at the same time as possible. You can see them for Jiluo. He's skipping a big pack. He's pulling everything together. He's stacking
Yeah,
up the lightning
wow.
flashes.
Gilio has
Also, a
got it
huge
down for
clear
Act 2.
on
Did you
everything
see
at
the
the same
clear he
time.
just
It's really
pulled? They
not
were
just
just
time
talking
in essence,
about it.
but also a lead mechanic
So that is
that
what
is
makes the
getting this
Twister
done.
stuff so
And it's been a
strong. So all
major
of my
element
builds that I
for
run that are in
XP
the
and
south and east
itemization
sectors
for the
of the
Huntress is
tree
just going to be the same
level
again.
exactly
You
like
don't
these
have
two
to wait for
Huntresses, and
any
this is
delay
why.
from any grenades
I
or
ate all
anything
of the
like
candy
that.
already.
You just need that big AoE from the Twister. Mostly works
That's
now.
super crazy.
Up to the same zone as
And
well. Again,
geez,
I'm Exile.
in
Not far
moderation,
behind,
right? In
keeping up
moderation.
with the grenades. And this is
Ooh.
really very important for the
I was just looking
mercenaries.
at I'm Exile's varnished crossbow, that level 16, like I was talking about there.
I can see it's got 2 sockets, so
Let's
I can
see
already
here.
tell. It's a
Mostly works
bastard.
is
It's good
catching
enough
up
to chuck 2 sockets on
really
because
nicely.
it's got triple added damage with very good rolls.
So
And
they're all in the
attack
Helani
speed on
gates. So to
top of
be in
that, so
top
they
4,
get
you got to be at
20
Helani
fierce,
gates right now, which is
17
very
fire, 40,
fast.
21 cold, in addition to that lightning 2 to 30 from the runes.
My
So that
bet
is
is
a
on
lot of
Huntress,
damage.
man. I can't
And
watch
there's
this
a lot of
without wanting to
XP
play
for it
myself.
to
Heck
potentially
yeah,
move
Raw.
through.
Dude, definitely come join our
We will
guild and come play
see
hardcore or
who's going to
softcore with us.
defeat
We got a great group of people in there. I'm just now pushing into hardcore with our with one of our leads named
You can get
Smurf.
a bunch of different
And then
Is
we
this
have
till the end of
a
campaign?
bunch of good
so
softcore
technically, good
officers.
luck in that regard.
And
Hi,
yes,
I am Great Maud.
But
Thank you very
that's
much.
something great. That's
and yes,
a lot
Zimmy,
of
this is all the way
XP.
through interludes, I believe. So we're going Act 1 to
It's a
interludes.
I mean,
badass
considering
So we're
you
going to
want
be
to use
buckled
this
in for
all
about
the
another
way
3
until
hours here.
33, I don't.
Well, I don't
You
want
know.
to, but that
You
can
are
be
a
a fun
wonderful
fact.
mod, Rain. You do everything
Very
great for me here,
occasionally
so I
we'll see
appreciate
like
you.
amazing enough
Everyone,
people like,
give a
we
thank you
shouldn't
to
have used
Rain,
this
our
weapon.
moderator here, that helps
In the
make a lot
bottom
of this
right,
possible.
23,
Keeping chat
when
under
you see
control
that
and hanging
mod,
out.
this is where
There goes
Twisters
Yaman Ra.
shine. Yup. This is
Gone.
already
You know, honestly,
a
watching here, I'm really rooting for Mostly Works, the Druid in the top right. It would be so cool to see a Druid take one of these races. And by the way, guys, this is just a qualifier. So if these top 4 make it, they then get to move forward. So they keep the top 4.
So even though something like a
So if
Frostbolt
you're in the
could
top
be
4,
super
you're in a
effective,
good place.
essentially you're pretty much exclusively dealing
Ra, go
cold
into my
damage
profile, click my link tree, and just pop
into
straight into the
targeting a
Discord. It has
weapon.
instructions to join the
Right,
guild.
you actually have to drop
So
a
we do
frost bomb
make you be in the
because you
Discord
just don't
for
have enough
guild stash
intelligence. You're
purposes.
always going to be
We want to make sure
sacrificing
we keep our guild
something
stash open and nice and
on
safe
the
to
Huntress
everybody.
to itemize
I am
for
just
more
tasing with
attributes.
you.
But at this stage of the game,
No,
all
on a
it is
serious level, Rain, I
missing
super
is
appreciate you. You do a lot
finishing
for
it
us
off.
here
But
at
I
the
think
channel,
you
so
get
thank
at
you.
tier 7 gems, and that's really when the damage is going to be coming out. And yeah, the damage on our other players is not bad either. I'm exiled.
But yeah, if anybody wants to come in and join our guild, we got a
Yeah,
good wealth of
General's
knowledge of
super
very
fast
smart
with us
guys in
being
there that
Let's see
play
the Druid.
PoE very, very
Big
enthusiastically every
Bone
season,
Storm
shall I
coming
say.
out, maybe. Getting harassed a
It's
little bit,
okay.
making it a bit hard to throw out that Bone Storm if they're getting
All
stunned.
right, all right.
Oh,
So
problem, right?
your bottom
260
right is
health,
in the
not enough
lead.
to
They're the
actually
first one in the
Thanks.
go very quick,
Macedonian
but this does
Badlands.
the default
Your
effect
top
of
left
stunning on
Huntress
their
is
Bone
getting ready to
Storms.
head that way to
Really
their
just
next
needs to
zone.
put some other gear
And
on,
then we
right?
got Mostly Works
Can't get
and
enough
I'm
damage to the
Exile
chest
pulling
because
up
the
third
movement
and
speed
fourth,
is a
finishing
bit
up the
excessive.
Janara fight.
There's no
Yeah,
movement
he
speed penalty for Gloves
sacrificed a
Blue Works,
lot.
just so you know.
He
Yeah, your
sacrificed
bottom right
a
Huntress has
lot
taken the
of
lead.
defenses
They
to
have
be
been
able to keep
very,
up
very consistent.
with
They
the
had
other
one of the
players.
best
And
times
honestly,
going
if
through
we're
Act
putting
1 for a
Active in,
Huntress.
resistances
Yeah.
are
My
the
if I
major
was a
problem
betting
with
man,
this
that's who I
elixir.
would bet to
There
win.
are
Just
different
watching their
bosses
play,
that
they have very
have
good stats
active
right now. They're
resistances
sitting
for.
up over
Jamara,
Yeah, I don't think
350
again this
HP with
that's
is
a
some energy
lot of
shield.
lightning
good gear.
damage. He was getting shocked really heavily there. So no gear is a big deal. And Act 2 is already where you start itemizing. I mean, you itemize even in Act
Even though
1,
I
you
can be
itemize
sassy to you.
Yeah, of
some of the
course.
actual bosses, but Act
I
2
need that in my life
especially
there,
is
right?
very important in regards to resistances. You get some guaranteed rings that you can go for, and you can see that Giluo was already up to the Bone Pits or even the Mastodon Zone. The Mastodon Zone does have a guaranteed 4 link from the League mechanic, so that's something that our players are going to be looking for sure. Exile
So one scary
in,
thing about the Mastodon
Mastodon
Badlands that
Badlands
they're all
now.
going to right now
Gives up some
Abyss.
movement speed boost
is
from
the
the
Liches
Ember.
drop big
Can't push him
nasty
hard into
fireballs on you, and
attributes.
those charge
Not
guys
enough
do
attributes
quite
to put the
lot of
helmets in
damage
their
if they're
inventory,
allowed to
so still pretty
land
close
their
time,
mace
but no
attack on you.
rings, no gloves.
The combination of both
Yeah,
together
this
can
is
be a
really
one
rough
shot.
for them.
So if you're
The
watching
Druid is
them, be
keeping
very
some
careful with
movement
how
speed
they're
to
doing
them,
stuff.
but nothing else to secure that
We got
survivability
Huntress into the
aspect.
Bone
And we
Pits.
saw
They're
the
the
big
first
problem
in.
there is just you can't be getting stunned out of that Bone Storm. That's where all that damage is coming from. And if the boss is just
See that
popping in with
fireball
those
that
charge
went down
attacks,
over on
stunned you, then
Mostly
that's
Work
not going to
side?
work.
Those are the big
It's not
fireballs
going
that
to
are
be
shooting
Mostly
off
Works.
from the
solved
Liches.
very quickly.
Mostly Works has
Oh
already
wow,
got
he added in
pretty much
Arc to his
extremely
build.
Abyss here, so a pretty
Oh no, I
major
think that's
commitment.
that's
Out of
Arc
gear
with
being
Living
cleared from the
Lightning.
Abyss
That's
by
a
Mostly
very
Works
effective way
at
to
full
clean up all
speed.
the
So
trash
this will
mobs around here.
hopefully allow him
I
to
really
stay
like
a
what he's
little bit
doing.
safer. Most of our other players are looking for that
Oh
Bone
no,
Pit, so
he's
if they
not
can
doing
go
that. He's doing
maybe into skipping
Living
the
Lightning
Abyss
on his ED
as this will
Contagion.
not be
That's
enough
such a
XP.
smart way to
And
clear up the trash
honestly,
mobs.
on the Huntress, you're
That is
kind of
very
already
cool by
approaching
Mostly
very
Works. I like what he's
slowly.
doing. He's
Well, not very
utilizing quite a
slowly,
few of the
but you're
different
approaching the point
elements
where you won't need any
through
more XP
supports and some
to
main skills to
major
really
benefit
boost out
himself
his
with the
damage here,
technical
where
Aegis races
Druid is
that
very
he's
usually
level
lackluster
28 for
in the
Jamanra.
spellcasting role.
Huntresses don't do that. Our players might even go to Jamanra at level 26, 27, and that's pretty much all the XP that they're going to be getting.
Yeah, that's
Everything in
crazy
Act
to
3
me.
and everything in Act 4, they're going to be skipping. They're just equipping their werewolf form and jumping around. They're not going to be killing any monsters. So
I
if
do
you
love
don't
this
have an
Huntress
advantage
gameplay.
of a mercenary at this stage of the game, you're behind. It looks like it's close, but Huntresses, they're really far ahead. As long as they can stay alive, man, I don't know. This might end up being a blowout
Yeah, I hear what they're
for
saying.
the
The
Huntresses.
Huntresses being so
Definitely
close
too
right now
early
is
to
such a
call
big deal
yet,
because
but
they're
we are
so much
seeing some
faster the
very
later
fast
that this
kills
goes.
starting to happen on those Huntresses, and we're
It's a
starting to see
very,
some
very
good
big
potential
deal
for
that
it.
these Huntresses are taking the lead in Act
The
2
Whirlwind's
and
double
being
tapping the
like
bosses, it
either
passes off on the
close or a
Druid too.
little bit
Actually,
ahead.
another good boss
Is
with
not
this
just like
kill,
being 30
although
seconds ahead.
time
They're
between the
minutes
two
ahead
boss
as we go
kills
down the
here,
acts here.
not exactly even, but oh man, that huge damage off the wall there. Okay, never mind, they're going to be just fine. The Enrage will not be a
And our
problem.
first Huntress takes
The
down the
23
boss
enough
in
Well,
the
to
bone
take down that duo there.
another
in the bone
element
place. I
with
forget the name
Huntresses
of it.
that you are able
My
to
brain is
factor
mush
in as
after trying to
regards
keep up with all
Bone
this.
Hunter. The
And the
players
bone
are
pits,
not going to
that's
be
it.
traveling
So
far
bone
enough
pits
for
down
the Abyss
for the
Zone to
bottom
get
right.
you offhand
And then we got our
attack
top
speed in
left
terms of
Huntress taking
advancing
on the
with
bone
are just
pits.
using a Scepter
Mostly
4
works.
when
The
it's
druid
set up
just entered the
behind
bone
Jester,
pits. He has to
and that
scale
allows
the
him to
whole
get
area,
noise, but
and the
most
mercenary
players
is about
might get attrition or
Exile the
War Banner.
mercenary is
Attrition is
about
your,
3/4
you
of the
know,
way through the bone pits right
melee,
now.
War Banner if you're being really
So the
clever.
Huntress being
And we
ahead is a
already see the
big
25
deal here.
has that
And look
available.
at this
The
fight. Like, look how much
Druid,
damage they're
ooh,
doing.
I'm not sure if They're
Even-
having a
It's so
banner.
crazy.
I
even
do see the
faster.
spirit.
Yeah,
that was a nice
even
one.
faster there. Crazy.
Just got to sit in a fishbowl and
You'll
cast
notice,
off
yeah.
Twister.
There's I'm Exile getting a very fast.
Yes, so, Ra,
damage skill that they have right now. So
Ra, what they're doing is they're utilizing Whirling Slash with Twister. What Whirling Slash does is Whirling Slash allows them to make essentially a mini whirlwind around them. And after they get so many stages of Whirling Slash up, the Twister fires off
100%.
and moves around the map for X amount of time. The combination
As
of
much
the
as I'm
buff
thinking
that
about it
Twister
being a
gets
Q3
from
abroad
having
on this,
ice-tipped arrows and barrage
if they manage to stay alive,
tenfolds
is
the
doing a lot of
damage.
heavy lifting
So if you're
just
on
to
an
get
attack
Escalation
speed
because
build,
Absolutely.
the faster
we
you
might be
can
seeing a
keep
lot
doing
of
that as you
actually
walk through the map, the quicker you're going to get through
any glitch
content.
from any other Huntresses yet.
And that's the
Because when they
advantage
play
that they
Scout,
have
yeah,
over
you have to
mercenaries, where the
always push
mercenaries
them
have to
before they
stop
can
and
get
shoot.
stunned.
They're
With
using a
the
movement skill
Whirling
as their
Slash,
way to deal
walking around,
damage
you
with the
cannot get
Whirling
stunned.
Slash to
But when
amplify
you're
their
swinging
damage.
around like this, you really have to
Oh wow,
optimize
look how quick
your
he gets through
playstyle to
Kabbalah
not
as well.
just
Like, she
die
has
with
so much
when
health.
the damage is
So
massive.
51
If
minutes
not
in, he's already
massive
going
enough
through Keth.
yet, again, the freezing mark will be coming out.
And then there's
Very
Julio right
soon,
behind
and
him.
that's really where this entire setup is going to be shining.
I'm really pulling for
Hope
mostly
so.
works our Drew, but I don't think he's going to make it.
Sometimes the Twisters do just miss though, but there we go. In particular, Giluo's
So
movement
he's
is
the
just
last
looking
one getting through the
insane
bone
here as
picks.
they move
Our
through the
mercenary's
paths.
still
You see
pulling
the,
strong right behind our
the
Huntresses, who's
backflips
also
and the
into
use of the
Keth.
whirlwind movement
He is
as
just
well
now
as
doing his
weaving all of
fight
that
for the
together with
spiders
as
here
well,
soon.
timing out those tornadoes. Even like
So he's
aiming
about
the
30
tornadoes
seconds behind our
sideways
Huntresses
there,
right now.
like
You have
bounce
to.
In the
back
bottom
and
left
forth
there.
across the pack rather than just sending it off the edge of the screen like you would be inclined to. Like normally
So
players
now that your
put their
Huntresses have
ability
beaten
at
the
the end of
boss,
the
they are
zone.
rushing
With
to the
Giluo's
next
ult,
zone.
throw it at the wall here so it bounces
So
back
our
and forth
bottom
and
right
kills
Huntress
people
is going to
coming
get
up here
there
and get
a
through the
little
walls too.
bit
Like
quicker
really,
into the
really
lost
good,
city.
like
Julio is
technical
coming back for
optimization and
something.
movement and everything here.
He did not
And like
go
you
in.
said,
I
to
don't
stay
know why.
alive is surprising on the Huntress. It is very squishy playstyle and strategy here. And whereas we can see the mercenaries get something like 700 plus health, get some decent armor evasion.
We got our
And
Druid
they're
mostly
able to
works
actually take
finally
some
getting the
nice
bone
route,
pits
though.
wrapped up. So yeah,
of
he's a
DPS
good
there.
minute and a
Layout
half
reads that
behind.
Giluo manages to find the exit, but decides
But
to
the
go for
DPS
the
is
double
insane. He
head
cleared the
that
bosses
drops
so
from
much quicker
that
than everybody
side
else,
zone.
which
He's
was
gonna be
good.
using the checkpoint to go
I
back
think if his
and
ability
exit.
to clear
So good to
bosses can
see
keep
that
him in this,
optimization is
he'll do just
early
fine
here.
because he's
This is
clearing them
where they
quicker
are
right now.
killing some of their final mobs right now, and the gear that they're getting
Hey,
now
welcome back,
is
Hippo.
going to be, for the most part, the gear that they're going to be using for those Act 4 boss kills. So super important, and he does
Yeah,
spend that
absolutely.
extra time to get there. I'm Exile
Yeah,
with
I just want to,
massive damage
most of the guys
coming
casting
out.
this
I
officially
think
just
Hunters
assume you
just
know
managed
all
to
this stuff about Path of
Like, that's a bit
Exiles.
faster to me
So I
than
want to try and get down to the
the other
basics of what's
ones.
happening here
right,
so you
but
can get
you
a good
have to
idea
keep
of
in
what
mind,
you're
this
watching.
is, I mean, not quite when you're peaking because he is quite a ways away from that level 16 when he equipped the crossbow. But this is what he's using all the way until the bombard. So this
Yeah,
will begin to drop off. Obviously, you're
all
getting more
three
passive
outside of your
effects.
Druid are
And
all
it
in the
is a
same
pretty
area right
critical
now.
stage for the
They're
mercenaries
pushing
because
through.
this is where you're
The
getting a lot
mercenary
of
is
the
actually doing
utility,
very,
but
very
not a
good.
lot of the outright damage from your
And we
passives.
got our
So
puppy
it looks
Coopers
great
hanging
right
out. Hi,
now,
Bubs.
but you need a bigger advantage. Exile has to go faster. I would feel very threatened as a mercenary here that the Huntresses, they aren't far back enough.
I mean, they're not far back enough at all. They're ahead of him.
Gearing in the crossbow and
Yeah, what do you
movement
mean?
strategy seems
The
to
I am
be
Exile
adjusting a bit,
mercenary is
at
the
least
only
for investment
mercenary doing
battle
the
dodge.
best, and he is
Can't speak for all
he
of
is
the
20
mercenaries,
seconds behind what
definitely,
our
but
two
he used to
Huntresses
get
are
that
doing.
big push for 33 for the bombard crossbow for that big damage.
Like
We
Julio
definitely see
and
that with just a little bit of extra time
231
to
are
level
both
up.
going to get into the boss fight before he
But
is.
less than that, even the fact that you have to hoard the currency for the crossbow to craft it, or just hope to get really
Also, the
lucky,
biggest
is like
reason that they take
10
this
years 50,
specific
that
route in
actually
Act
costs
2
you quite
is
a bit
they
of time
all
because you won't
want
be
the
able to just
relics
invest
that
that into
drop out of
ability
Keth and out of
crossbow
the
and actually
Macedonian
benefit it
Badlands.
from its
And
seat
then when
rather
you
than
go up
just
to the
having
last
that kind of
zone for the
sitting in your
Valley of the
inventory doing
Titans, you can
nothing
put
until
those in and
the
get
very
extra
end.
charm slots, and you don't
So
have to
I
backtrack
think
at
we're
all.
seeing more like
So
a
you're always going to see a
push
speedrunner do
now,
Macedonian
maybe going for
Badlands,
that big alloy
then go to
crossbow.
Keth, and then go to Valley of Titans. It's the
Also
most
looks like
optimal way to run it
Impact.
all
earlier on.
I feel like, in a way, you
when you're
kind of
looking at
have
Act
to do
2.
that, right? When the Huntresses
It
are
allows
getting
you to
boss
complete the
Yeah,
most
it's
amount of
exactly
quests
just
with the least
bad,
amount of walking.
you can't afford to go for level 33. So yeah, we're gonna have to see. I mean, a lot of this
All right, we
She's not
got I
afraid
Am
to look up.
Exile into the
A
Buried
lot of it
Shrines. There we
is
go.
how you have to adjust the
Druid's
certain
still
buffs
behind, so
to
see, he's
avoid.
about 2 minutes behind fighting the Spider Queen in Cast.
Huntress, she's not worried
So
about the lurkers.
he's a good 2 minutes behind
It's
still,
more
but
of a
he's doing fine.
problem
He's doing
of
fine.
how much more
See how much
damage can I
quicker he
get
goes through the
with an
bosses?
extra weapon? But you can see on the
And
Huntress,
then he's
you
able
don't
to
have
just
to take
leap
too
around.
much
He's going to go
damage
jump
every
into the
single
next area
level.
pretty quick,
You
pick
don't
up
have to
some
work
fat
300
EXP here
days.
as he
You
goes,
don't have to worry
and then
about
we're
all
off
of
to
that. You're
leaping
spending a
again.
lot less time in town.
Bottom
Really
right,
good
we got
damage.
got our
You can
first
see
Huntress
Jiluo
into
dropping in
the
more damage.
Forsaken
Or
Sun
sorry,
fight.
33
Doing
dropping in
good,
more
doing
damage
good.
in the bottom right. And
And
so
down
as
it
his
goes.
sisters hit multiple times,
Hi,
it's pretty good.
Coopers. Hi,
They
Puppy
don't
Dog.
shotgun.
Oh, we got a little bit of delay here.
But from a
There we
single
go. We're good.
ability,
We're
they
good.
can hit multiple times as long as it's 0.66 apart, just
So
like
yeah, right
Huntress
now
are. You can see
231 in the bottom
it's
right is
basically
currently ahead
the
of
exact same
everybody.
mechanic,
Just
but
got the
in
first boss
attack
clear in Clef,
damage form.
with Gilio right
So a bit
behind
of
him and I Am Exile
I
right
think the
behind
damage
Gilio.
coming back. I
management
think
there.
Mostly Works still has the most damage.
Mostly Works
Their boss
just
kill
got
over
into
there.
the zone that they've
But
all
they
been clearing.
still
So it
don't
was a
care,
little bit
though.
behind.
They have an unidentified cultist crown. Maybe that will give them something. But they've slowly crept their way up to almost 300 life, but not quite. But that is that's a bit iffy. We're seeing everyone else having 400 plus, 450 for Gilo on the Huntress, which is the conventionally squishy class. It's funny to see the Druid being so much squishier here. I think at this point, just ultimately mostly Works trying to go so fast and just missing gearing opportunities, not quite spending a little bit of extra time at vendors to do so to fix these problems. And I can only see this coming back to haunt them pretty soon. But
And speaking of HP and the defenses, apparently Angormus has died once again in the background.
yeah,
So
crazy damage from Gilo there. The tornado, like, the whirlwind's just kind of bouncing back perfectly for the second round of damage there. Crazy kill on that one. Very
Yeah,
I
frustrating.
mean, I'm
that
not
was so fast by Gilio the
fully
Huntress.
prepared
So
quite
they're
there
the
yet, but this could be also the stage where
second
you
and
get the
third to
first
clear. You have
kill
I
now
Am
that
Exile and
allows them to
Gilio on the
build up
left.
their
They just
defenses
got
while
through
more.
their
They
Cats
also
boss fight.
they managed to freeze the boss. They get a 30%
Now
extra damage
they're both
as cold
joining
buff,
231 in
which
Valley of the Titans.
it just keeps piling.
So in Valley of the Titans, they're
Still,
just
yes,
looking
a
to
lot
pop
of
the
buttons to
seals as
click,
quick
but
as
when you click all
possible
of
and
those
start running
buttons
to
and
the
the
zone for the
crystals
next
land
boss.
just right, it is
So they're not going to
crazy
do a lot
easy work. Jumping past
of
that beetle, and you can see how
mob
much
clearing
time
here.
Am
They're just
Exile is
looking to
spending.
just get through this as
Sure, you
fast
can
as possible.
still do a little bit of vendoring when the caravan
If you're
moves,
watching
but this way
231, look how quick they're just going
they
through
can
this. They don't care
exit
about the
off the
mobs here
map. They
because
can
there's
bend whenever the
not enough
caravan is
density
moving.
for it to
Go
matter
into
to
the
them.
next
Like
zone.
there's 3
You're
mobs,
not
4
quite
mobs
able
there.
to exit town immediately,
They're
which
just literally
can be
clearing stuff out
frustrating
of their
as
way
well
so
for
they can
other
keep
classes,
running.
but for the
That's all they care
mercenary,
about doing.
that's the perfect time that you can go to a vendor, do a quick check, and right as you're able to exit town, immediately do so. So it is costing you time, but Act 2 is the perfect zone to be doing these things in. And yeah, Amexile is keeping up in the same zone as Jiluo.
Ooh, Jillo
And
is really hurting
look at that
themselves here
AoE
by
clear, just
taking that extra
ice
time.
everywhere. All the mobs are dead.
It
And
could help
now
them
Jiluo,
later on
careful
by
that he
getting
is
this essence.
getting
I don't
this
know that I would
life
take that. I'd
gain
probably skip it,
already.
but
So
God,
he
that's
must be looking
insane.
really well.
they're doing just
Yeah.
fine.
That is
The
looking
windup is
insane.
First into
big,
the Titan
but
Grotto is
the
231.
multiple screen clear is just so ridiculous. And again, I don't know if you can check Ziggy,
Here, and
but
actually, I think I'm going to
Yeah.
turn off the other
Jilu was
commentators as they're going here, and we're just going to commentate. We'll put on a little background music for everybody. There we go. Yeah, and look at Jillian. Now they're speed racing through. Okay, so they got the things they wanted. They're going to skip Abyss here by and large. Are they going to skip ascendancies? I don't think so. Because in the interludes, I think you do need your ascendancies. We'll see though. I've seen a few different strategies get used. More often than not, they pick up their ascendancies very, very late. So like when they're going back through the ascendancy areas, you gotta imagine right now, these guys are like level 20 going through like a 27 zone, right? Or level 22 going through a 27 zone. So right now it doesn't make sense for them to go through Trial of Sekma. Normally what they'll do is they're gonna get up to the Dreadnought and then they'll come back and do that Trial of Sekma and blast through it real quick. Or they'll even get up into Act 3 before they go back to do that Trial of Sekhma. So that is usually the plan there, which is very common just in normal play, where you want to be very far ahead of the Trial of Sekhma or ahead of the Chaos Trial, because you don't want to redo these things. It's a time sink. You want to make sure very well that you can get through it very quickly and not have any issues. I will be interested to see what path the Huntresses take. If they're going to go that typical Amazon route, or if they're going to pick up the Spirit Walker to get the more projectiles onto their characters off of the Spirit Walker Ascendancy. Because there is an extra projectile with the Owl Ascendancy off of Spirit Walker. So I'll be interested to see what the Huntresses decide to do with the new tools they have this season. And it looks like they were trying to do an explanation of Julio's build. Essentially, they are toggling on Herald of Ice using a scepter when they go to hit their stuff, when they go to hit their twisters. And then they're using a shield with Whirling Slash to get damage reduced, which is a very smart way to go about that. And usually you put your high damage weapon or high damage spear onto your twister and your high attack speed weapon onto your Whirling Slash to get the most optimal version. And we got our first one done in the Titans Grotto. So Exile has taken the lead officially. You have Gilio, who's right behind him. Oh no, I do take that back. 231 did also clear Titan. So I Am Exile has taken second. 231 is in first place, and then you got Gilio just getting to the Titan Grotto's boss, that's in third. And then you have Mostly Work still outside the Titan's Grotto, hitting the seals in fourth. So we'll see how our Druid does. I fear that they might be correct in what they were saying earlier, and then that the Druid hasn't got enough gear onto their character, and they're just going to keep falling further and further behind as we go through this race. The scaling is eventually going to eat them alive for not paying attention better at the start and spending that little extra time gearing up their character. Yeah, the Merc is doing really well, sitting up in second place. It is just a scary thing going into Act 3, though, if you're already neck and neck with two Huntresses, how are you going to be able to sustain that going through Acts 3 and 4 and as these Huntresses start to go a little bit quicker than you? Because Mercenary traditionally does Act 1 the fastest, and I Am Exile wasn't out of Act 1 much quicker than Gilio in 231. And it kind of put him into a hole. And now you can see he's trying to make up for that. He's using his werewolf form just to try and get through the zones as quick as possible. One thing that also trips guys up in this zone where I'm Exile, 231, and Gilio just entered is you are looking for the final letter to get those free skill points. And so if you get a bad map layout, it can really kill your time here. So you're going to watch them scour the edges of the map looking for the final letter, and then they're going to go into the next area. And then they do also have to clear the Pharaoh stuff if they choose to get the Pharaoh quest progression for Ruin Forging. But at this point, I don't think any of them have found any type of like unique weapons that help their build. So as you just watched Gilio, she completely skipped the Pharaoh quest. And then same with 231. 231 has already moved on. They got the final letter, and they are into the Spires of Dashar. And they're working their way through the two zones in Dashar that are the two spire-looking deals. So they're going to have a boss fight here soon. And then also there's a 10% lightning res pickup you pick up in the second area in the Spires of Dashar. Yeah, and this is just an infinitely hard race, like deciding what you can afford to pick up with where you are come as you're racing against other people, because there's so many good things that help you get through this game, and you're going to watch a lot of these guys make decisions based off what they think they can and can't do. And we'll turn up our music just a tad. Do you think the guys have an eye on the other racers to adjust strategies mid-run? I would assume they have some sort of tracker that tells them where what area other racers are in. I'm sure they're getting some sort of update. That would make the most sense. Right, also I think the other thing that they have is they know their placement at all times. So I think all 4 of these guys know what their placement is. So it just puts it out of pressure, but I don't think they have 100% information like we do where we're seeing it live. Right, there's no way you could focus while looking at someone else's screen. But I do think they have some sort of placement tracker to see where they're at in the race. And the reason I say that is if you're watching how Mostly Works plays, he just got through Titan's Grotto, but he's still in 4th place. But he hasn't changed spots in such a long time. He knows that he's behind. And you're watching him make decisions that are trying to press forward to stay in the top 4 right now. Like, literally, Mostly Works is just like a NASCAR that's going to be redlining to the finish line if he's going to make top 4. He's going to have to skip a whole bunch of stuff just to get there and hope it works out. Because the Huntresses and Mercenaries are going so much quicker than he is in the second part of the second act of the game. As we're in the first act, he was doing so well and was like the lead pacer, right? He was in the lead for the majority of Act 1. So yeah, the little bit of crashing he had did affect him quite a bit. We got 2-3-1 into a good spot. They're getting ready, it looks like, to do the boss fight. Oh, nope, they're hitting back the checkpoint to grab the Sisters of Garuk. Perfect. So 2-3-1 spent a little bit of time to get that 10 lightning resist, which can be a big deal on Janara, which is the Act 2 boss fight. 10% lightning resist doesn't sound like a lot until you have Janara slamming lightning down at you in about 10 minutes. Or in these guys' case, maybe 5 minutes. They're going to be at the Janara fight. We'll see what they all do with Trials of Sekima as well. I imagine that they're going to beat Janara before they go back to even look at Trials of Sekima. And the Druid is probably just going to go no Ascendancies just to try and NASCAR it. Red line to the finish line, because I don't think he is going to have the time sink where he's going to be able to spend to do Trials of Sekima. The Sisters there give you plus 10% lightning resist raw metrics. That's what I was just saying. 10% lightning resist off the Sisters is a big deal. Alright, we got 2-3-1, the first in to fight Tua, the Defiler. Defiler is down. Very easy fight for the Huntresses because of the big-bodied hitboxes Tua has. Alright, we have I Am Exile right behind him, taking on Tua. Or, excuse me, I think it's Tua Goal, or Tor Goal, the Defiler. I can't read the names. Got glasses and still can't read. So Torgol going on I Am Exile, and then Julio right there, right behind him, starting the fight. So all 3 of them are just so close to each other. You're talking within 10 seconds. The Torgol fights are happening. And then Mostly Works is not even close to the fight yet. He's still about a minute behind. And look how quick Twisters just rips this guy down. It's so fast. Yep, it's a 10% permanent lightning resistance buff. Yeah, the Sisters of Garukin are very, very good to take on your normal playthroughs. But that's what I was talking about with speedrunners. Do you skip the buff to go quicker? Because it saves you about 20 seconds. Or do you take the buff so that you don't have the fear of getting shot down by Janara? So and it looks like most of them are taking it. Jailu had to go backwards to get it. So that hurt their time quite a bit. It popped them back to third. As now you're watching IMXL and 231. They're already in the Dreadnought heading to Janara for the last Act 2 boss fight. We're trying to stay hydrated as much as we can when we're talking. My throat's getting a little dry, so we're doing our best. Wow, look at them destroy. Man, what a tough spot I'm in Exile was. That could have been really bad really quick with poison gas and fire explosions right there, but he did a great job positioning. Those are the types of things that like make the difference if you're a speedrunner or not. Recognizing what the attacks are around you and positioning yourself super great. And IMXL was just a good example of that right there. His positioning was just on par. He wasn't sitting in gas, didn't let the fire explosions off the elite monsters get him. That's a very cheeky way Path of Exiles tries to get you here in the Dreadnought with their poison effects off the bugs. 231 starting the Janara fight already, and IMXL just walked in, so they're both neck and neck. They're both starting Janara right now. We got Mostly Works doing Torgol right now, who is a little bit behind. And then Gilio pulling up third place, working through the Dreadnought as they had to go back for the Sisters 10 Lightning Resist quest. But they are not far behind. And Janara's already started for 231. Look at him go. Got him frozen. He's getting him chunked out. He's going to be able to get half of his health down for phase 2. Oh, he did get trapped. I must have missed that. I did see him also go back to the Sisters quest as well after he had beaten Torgol. So that did cost him some additional time as well. So yeah, the combination of the two put him about 20-30 seconds behind. We got 231 on the second stage. IMXL just procced the first stage to go to second. 231's going to get the Janara kill first. And will be about 5 seconds ahead going into Act 3. There it is down. Janara procs for IMXL for the second phase. There they go. There they go. Dodges the explosion very well. There's the big cleave. Ooh, takes the cleave on the face. Has plenty of defenses. Doesn't matter. And he is working through Janara right now with his explosions, using some of the war cries off the bear to do so, which was very nice. And we got Janara Act 2 done for IMXile. So we got 231 and IMXL going on to Act 3. Gilio still on the bottom left, working through, getting into Janara right now. So he's about 30 seconds behind. IMXL just now getting into the Dreadnought. Or no, excuse me, not IMXL. Mostly Works getting into the Dreadnought. IMXL is currently pathing for his questing with 231 to start Act 3. So you will see them both into the marshes here in a moment. And the fight begins for Gilio on Janara. Act 2 final boss. Got him phased, got him phased. Very nice. And he skips. Very nice of Gilio to skip the win phase. That takes about 30 seconds. I bought him 30 seconds of time. He got to go straight into phase 2. Nicely done, Gilio, with the damage. He has a very, very strong character right now. My goodness. He is ripping through Janara much, much faster than the other two. His little bit of extra time getting pieces for his character seems to have paid off. Even though he's about 30 seconds behind, he might be the one that wins this. That was a very strong showing on the Act 2 boss. We got Mostly Works in the bottom left, pathing his way there. He knows he's behind. Oh! Does he die? Does he die? Does he make it? Oh, and Mostly Works goes down. 374 life, not going to do it. You need more life there, friend. So I think that is going to put him into a penalty. So that's what I was talking about with positioning in the Dreadnought. If you position poorly, they will get you in there. And his low life pool combined with some really poor positioning there got him. Like, these guys are just barely surviving on a knife's edge when they're going through these zones. Alright, Giulio has joined the other two in the Sandswept Marsh. As you can see, they are trying to run through as quick as they can so they can go run into the jungle ruins. 2-3-1, the first one in. I Am Exiles working their way through, picking up a little EXP as they go. Not quite as quick as 2-3-1. Giulio's just straight running through right now, avoiding everything and trying to catch up between first and second. Yeah, we'll see what happens when Mostly Works. And there is Woodish. Woodish has beat Janara and is in the Sandswept Marsh. He was holding up 5th place. The timer penalty on Mostly Druid has knocked him out of the top 4. And he completed Janara while Mostly Druids was serving his time penalty. So Woodish back into the top 4 again going. We got Mighty Silver Fist fight going on with the Huntress. You take one wrong hit off that monkey and it is a one-shot. There it is. Ooh, I think he's got it dodged. He's got the game paused to check. Nope, he reloads. He reloads. There it is. Good reload. Good reload. 2-3-1 was about to get one shot there by Silver Fist, and he knew it, so he paused the game and reloaded. Very smart move to avoid that 30-second delay on death. So instead, he serves a 5-second penalty of what he had already had fought into Silver Fist. Now he's got Silver Fist beat down, and off he goes. Perfect. First one to get Silver Fist down. Giulio's starting Silver Fist now. And I Am Exile just getting into the Ziggurat camp. He went very, very slow through the marsh area. So slow that Woodish caught up to him and they're both into the Ziggurat encampment. So we got 2 mercenaries, 2 huntresses. Our druid, our faithful druid doing off meta finally fell out. Buckeye88, welcome back in over on TikTok. Everybody here on the tubes, I hope you're having a great time casting. Make sure to send us like and subscribe here as we're working. We are a big Path of Exiles buff and love playing the game, so I'd love to give you as much information as I can as stuff comes out for 1.0. One of my more famous builds this last season was me working through a Earthshatter Gemling, which decimated the game for about 50 Divine Orbs, and I was doing tier 16 content and just bending the game over with it, which was great. Yeah, reload to avoid the penalty. So yep, they can reload if they see themselves getting ready to go down to a one-shot. That is a game mechanic in the game that does get used in hardcore. So that you don't lose your character. So they allow it here. And we got Silver Fist down. Ooh, I Am Exile pulling out 4th place, the last one to get Silver Fist. He has got to pick it up. He cannot sit there and just farm EXP with 2 Huntresses moving faster than he is now. He has got to get through these zones very quickly. And I think he realizes that. Watch how quick he's starting to scale the edge of the map now and not fighting nearly as much as he was. We got 2-3-1 into the next zone. And I Am Exile just got into the Infested Barrens, which is good. So he got himself back up. Giulio taking the lead. He is already in the Chimera Wetlands, just cruising along. They are all going to skip the Venom Crypts because the buff off the Venom Crypts costs too much time for what you get for it. So you won't see anybody here be doing the Venom Crypts. They're all going to go straight to Chimera Wetlands, fight the Chimera, and go through the quest line. 231 catching back up into the Chimera wetlands as well. And I Am Exile finally made it in. Woodish back down into 4th place, looking for the Chimera wetlands. So yeah, Infested Barrens for these guys is literally just a placeholder map they're trying to run through as quick as possible. Ooh, and we got Gilio and 231 at the same point taking on the Chimera. They are trying to lead it up into this corner. The point of doing so is going to allow them to use their twisters more effectively to deal out damage. They like those tight cornered spaces to deal damage in when they're fighting bosses so that they can get more of their twisters to roll over that boss. And then here they break the pillar. They've already gotten through majority of the thing's health. And Gilio was the first to win, so they are already into Jaquani's. Woodish just getting into the Chimera wetlands. I'm Exile's about halfway through as we watch 231 in 2nd place take down the Chimera. So 231 is going to be joining Gilio into Jaquani's. There it is. What a race. Our 2 Huntresses starting to take over as they go into Act 3. They're starting to burn the mercenaries behind. Oh, he did not. I Am Exile did not get a good set of damage off, so he's going to have to deal with 2 pillar fights here. This is a very slow clear on the Chimera. So what you're going to see here is as soon as the Chimera gets down, it gets out of its stun, it's now going to be at 1/3 of its life. Unless he can get it skipped here. Oh, he just misses it. He just misses it, and the Chimera... Oh, he gets it, though, before the Chimera can jump on the pillar. Nicely done, I'm Exile. That was a good save. You were in a rough spot getting ready to get another 20 seconds wasted off you. Good job, dude. That was surprising. He dealt out just enough damage to not get that time waste on the pillars. Oh, I thought he wasn't going to make it, man. He did so good. All right, we got Woodish pulling up the rear here, still working through the Chimera wetlands, looking for the Chimera so he can go into Jaquani's. Yeah, we'll see how far people start getting before they start messing with ascendancies. If they can keep the pace that they're at, they may not need the ascendancies. Alright, we got the Chimera fight. Woodish. Alright, Woodish, you gotta pump out a lot of damage here so you don't have to go over the pillar again. Yep, there he goes, there he goes. Hoping he can save it. And he gets it much, much cleaner. Very good. And there is Gilio onto Zacoltal. So he is all the way through Jaquani's. He's fighting the boss. We have a 2-3-1 not far behind him into that second zone of Jaquani's. And then I Am Exile and Woodish a whole zone behind right now. So they're about 30, 45 seconds behind our Huntresses. Crazy how slow the Merc clears the Chimera compared to the Huntress. This looks one-sided. Yes. Like I was saying, as we go through Acts 2 and 3, the Huntresses are much, much faster at everything. They move faster, they clear the bosses faster. The Mercenaries really only acceleration is in Act 1, where they just are much, much more damage heavy early on. And then they keep a good consistent damage trajectory going forward, but it's not nearly as explosive as what you're going to watch Gilio and 231 do. They're doing a very, very good job here, putting on a showcase of how good Huntress leveling is with Twister Morling Slash. So, Ra, if you're starting a character that's in the southeast parts of the passive skill tree, whether it's Monk, Mercenary, or your Huntress or your Ranger, you want to be on a Twister Whirling Slash setup to get through the campaign. It's one of the most effective leveling setups in the game, and you're seeing this in a speedrun format, how good it really is. Oh, very nice by Wudish, clearing out some areas, jumping over some stuff. I didn't know you could do that. Watch him jump over these areas. Come on, there it is. Yeah, he just straight jumps over obstacles in the map. That's really cool. All right, we got 2-3-1 and Gilio into the waterways. I do not think that they're going to go do the witch fight. I think they're all going to avoid the witch fight to keep their pacing because they are using scepters to get their 100 spirit right now. They're using scepter swaps. Maybe the mercenaries take it, I'm not sure. But the huntresses certainly don't need the extra spirit going through campaign. They're getting 100 off their scepters when they're using Twister. A very, very smart setup to speedrun. Exile gets down his Occultal boss, taking up 3rd. Wudish pulling up 4th place right behind him, working through Jakari's. Or Jaquani's, excuse me. Hey, what up, Andy46? Welcome in. Yeah, and look at Exile starting to go through the Madeline waterways. I think he'll do a fine job here and catch up some time. We'll see how he does. Ooh, 2-3-1 is serving a time penalty. I think I missed him going down. So he is on a death timer penalty, which is going to really help Exile and Gilio. Gilio is cruising through the Madeline waterways right now very, very quickly. One part that's dangerous in this area is, again, they use a lot of poison fire here. So they'll lay fire down at your feet, or lay poison at your feet and then explode you with fire, and the damage is just so high on that. So see the fire guys going? The other thing they're going to try and do is throw poison down on you. And if they can get you in a poison cloud with fire, it's an instant 1-clap usually. Alright, Wudish has finally got to the Jaquani boss, taking on the Coltal. Still pulling up the rear, but not bad for 4th place. And a pre-hour 30 taking on Zakoltal in Act 3 is insane. He is very, very quick. Even though he's in 4th place and it does not look as fast as what you're seeing, this is insanely fast, guys. Most people are just now getting to the execution around an hour and a half. These guys are in Act 3 halfway through. Just about halfway through the act at an hour 30. I just want you guys to understand the difference in speed of someone speedrunning this versus leveling and playing. Like, usually at an hour and a half, I'm just now getting to Janara. That's how much faster these guys are. Like, I even myself, as much as I've played, I'm usually getting through Act 2 at about an hour and a half. And I'm somebody that's played the game for 2,000 hours. These guys are very, very quick at what they're doing. This is something they practice very often. Very nice movement by Wudish here. He's catching some ground in Madeline waterways, that's for sure. 2-3-1 has made it 75% of the way through the waterways. Gilio is all the way through. They are going, if you're watching Gilio in the top left, they are in the lead. They are going to the Filth fight. So they're taking on Queen of Filth. After an hour 30, I've decided how to name my character. Listen, Raw. You just got to come up with the best funny names in Path of Exile. Like, my monks are always named like Taco Bell Delight or something dumb, right? But you just got to pick something funny, my man. Queen of Filth going down very quick. This is a very advantageous fight for our huntresses. It's in a very tight, compact area where they can get a lot of twisters down very quickly on her. All right, I Am Exile is working through. He is getting ready to start. It looks like the filth fight, and we got Gilio just with a commanding lead going into Temple of Copic. Oh my gosh, Gilio is so far ahead. They're in Temple of Copic, and I Am Exile is just getting into the first of 2 areas for the filth fight. But yeah, Gilio is taking a commanding lead with 2-3-1, having their death timer. Yeah, and 2-3-1 is just coming up behind in the Drowned City to I Am Exile. But they haven't even made it into the second zone for the filth fight. And we got Gilio just taking a commanding lead and going into the Temple of Copic fight already. So yeah, they're a full 2.5 minutes ahead of everybody. In the last 10 minutes, they just outpaced everybody at an insane level. And then poor Woodish just finally got through the Madeline Waterways, and he's getting ready to come into the next zone for the filth fight. You got IMXL doing okay, though. He's getting to the apex of filth. He's already in the zone. 2-3-1 right behind him. But that's still like a full 2 boss fights ahead right now for Gilio. So she's already gotten Apex, the Queen of Filth down, and the Temple of Kolic fight down. That is very impressive. How much does RNE good loot affect the race? It doesn't affect it at all for these guys, to be honest with you. Because you're going to get very samey type of items as you go through the game. As long as you just pay attention well enough and pick your spots to like get okay-ish gear on your character, it's enough to get through the game. So if you watched early on, they did a lot of gearing in Act 1 and beginning parts of Act 2 so that they could push through the game very quickly. By taking on the Ruin Stones. You could get lucky and get like one of the unique spears, but the time difference with a Huntress on the unique spear with or without having it is going to be very negligible in their ability to clear as you're watching them. Queen of Filth fight happening for I Am Exile. 2-3-1 still looking for it. And Gilio is already heading to the Viper fight. Holy buckets. Gilio really has just taken off in Act 3 and left everybody in the dust. This is crazy to watch how quick they did all of that. They had a really good set of maps that really helped them too. They got through those zones so quick. Oh, are they going to already be into the fight? Yep, they're into the Viper fight already. Look at that. So we got Gilio already doing the Viper fight, and the second place person just got Apex of Filth done. There's still 2 full boss fights ahead of second place. So then 2-3-1 is going to be taking on her Apex of Filth fight, and then we got Viper fight here with Gilio, who is our pace leader right now. What a commanding lead. They're going to be into Act 4 well before anybody else if they can keep this pace up going forward. Good, I'm glad you're having a great time, Ra. That's what it's about. I really want you guys to understand what you're watching here and see like how crazy this is that somebody is that far ahead. Or just the bad decisions or good decisions someone's making. Oh yeah, if they don't die here on this Viper fight, they're good, they're good. This is a very, very tough fight, by the way, because it's all chaos and physical damage. As you can see, the poison damage that Viper Napazali, or however you say her name does, she does a lot of poison damage, and then he skipped the poison tips. Oh my gosh. He completely skipped the poison tips. He did so much damage. He is so far ahead. That was a perfect fight on Viper. It doesn't get much better than that. So he skipped 3 different 15-second time sinks that happen in that fight if you go too slow. All right, we got IMXL catching up, though. He is on to the Temple of Kolic fight. So he's got the Priest of the Sun doing just fine. He's going to nuke it down. And then 2-3-1 is serving another time penalty for dying in the Apex of Filth. So much so that Woodish has passed up 2-3-1 and has taken third place and is heading to the temple, or heading through the temple to the Priest of the Sun. Priest of the Sun down for I Am Exile. Gilio is just spamming ahead there into the second last zone for the Act 3 final boss with Doriani. And they just hit Black Chambers. They completely skipped the Sacrificial Heart, so they will lose those 2 skill points to keep their commanding lead. But they are just worlds ahead of everybody. I mean, you see I Am Exile hanging out in town right now, going through his gear and stuff. And he is still a full boss fight down and not even close to the Black Chambers. There he goes. So we got I Am Exile in second, heading over to the Viper fight. While Gilio looks to get Act 3 completed first. Priest of the Sun going down for Woodish right now. He's got it down hand and pat. Apex of Filth for 2-3-1, second attempt. They have served their time penalty and surprisingly still in fourth place, which is good news for them. So yeah, this is what people's concerns are when you play Huntress, how squishy they are. Julio is just putting on a clinic. They are putting out the damage long before they're getting hit by the hard mechanics of those bosses. So they have geared exceptionally well. And that was what I was worried about, is them keeping pace while they geared, because they did a lot of unnecessary gearing in Act 2, but it's starting to pay off for them now as they get through Act 3, and they're on to Doriani right now. So Phase 1 Doriani. This is going to be the slower part of the fight for them because Doriani has such a small hitbox for twisters. So once they get through this portion of the Doriani fight, the fight becomes very, very easy for our Huntress Twister builds. And they're doing good. They've got their mechanics all set up. They're putting the mark down on Doriani to make it quick, but you're going to watch the Mercenaries Phase 1 Doriani much, much quicker, as where they'll be slower than the Huntresses on the Phase 2 part of Doriani because of the larger hitbox with Doriani and that big robot. Twisters really rely on small areas with big hitboxes. They really excel in it. All right, I Am Exiles to the Viper fight. Woodish not far behind him, just getting into it as well. And then Huntress finally catching up and doing the Priest of the Sun fight back in the temple, pulling up fourth place. Doriani's phased. Gilio's going to looking like they're going to get the first completion out as long as they don't get zapped here by a butt laser. Let's see how they do. Let's see how they do. Oh, and Doriani gets frozen. And this fight's over. They do their slam skill, which is going to take too much time, and it's over. Gilio, Act 3, first complete. Viper fight for Woodish going. I Am Exile is heading down to the Black Chambers as we speak. He is a zone away. So he is keeping pretty good pace with our friend Gilio here, but not quite fast enough. And 2-3-1 just now getting in to start chasing Viper. They just got back to town and they're heading to Viper next. Gilio's doing our cutscene to enter Act 4 and they're off to King's March. That's what I was talking about with the poison phasing. It wastes 15 seconds and it's real bad for you. This is not good for Woodish. This is really killing his time as he's having to deal with these extra mechanics on Viper. Yes, so this is an esports event that Path of Exiles puts on for Exile Con Race. This is one of 4 qualifier rounds that they're doing. So we're going to try and host all 4 of them here on the channel, do some great commentary, give you guys some analysis of what we're seeing. So this is one of 4. We're going to do a voice edition, you know? Man, that is just ripping him right now. Woodish getting caught again into the poison tips because he doesn't do enough damage into the poison tip time waste. He finally gets Viper down, but that fight took him so long. 2-3-1 has already caught up to him and is almost to the fight. I Am Exile is in the Black Chamber, and Gilio is pushing into their first zone in Act 4 into the prison, into the abandoned prison in Act 4. Look at Gilio go as our race leader. Oh my gosh. And they're already there. They're already onto the abandoned prison fight. They're going to be there in about 30 seconds. They are ripping through that zone very, very quickly. Interesting, interesting. So Gilio, instead of keeping with the werewolf form, they took the ground slam ability to leap through the air. I don't know that I like that, but let's see how it works for him. Yeah, okay, I see you. Just a fast attack speed mace weapon getting you through. Not bad, not bad. We got IMXL on Doriani. He is fighting through his first phase currently. He's about to get him phased. One annoying thing about like doing this is your bosses will do extra attack animations after they've been phased. So when you're playing the game, just be very aware of that that's just a part of this game, right? It's imperfect for sure, but it's fine. But it does hurt your time. Like IMXL had to spend an extra 8 seconds with a phased Doriani, which is a little bit frustrating as a speedrunner. So hopefully they clean some of that up in 1.0. Oh, and 231 did so bad that they got kicked out of the top 4. We got Luxian coming in as a Huntress. And they are headed down to the Black Chamber now. Yep, not a single ascendancy's been taken, Ross. So these guys haven't taken any ascendancies. I'll be interested to see what the strategy is as they get into the interludes. As the interludes is typically the place where you really start needing those ascendancies. So we'll see if any of them go back to take their ascendancies at that point. Currently, they're making great paces through Act 1 through 3. You really don't need your ascendancies those first 3 acts. But we'll see what they do going into Act 4 and into interludes. All right, we got Doriani for Woodish. And he's getting ready to enter Act 4 as well. Gilio just with a commanding lead going through. Oh, but they went down. They are going to serve a 30-second time penalty. So they did get mopped up pretty good in the abandoned prison. So this will hurt them quite a bit, but they were so far ahead. They still have about a 2-minute lead over everybody else. To where I don't think this is going to affect them that bad. But that will put IMXL right on Gilio's heels as they're starting to enter their first zone as well. And you're going to see a variety of different strategies in Act 4, so it'll be a little bit hard to track how quick people are going through Act 4. They're all going to take different places. As you see, IMXL here is starting at Isle of Kin, which is my favorite area to start with as well. It's one of the easier areas in Act 4 to soak up a whole bunch of EXP, which I think is very smart. Yeah, that was what I was saying, Ra, in terms of like what ascendancies our Huntress is going to take. Are they going to take the extra projectiles off of Spirit Walker or go the more traditional route with Amazon? Commonly with your mercenaries, they do pick Gemling just for the free flat-out damage off those first 4 ascendancy points. Here we go. And Doriani is down for Luxian. So we got our top 4 all into Act 4 at 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 38 seconds. So sub 2 hours, all of them are in Act 4, which is absolutely insane. Have IMXL working through the second half of Isle of Kin. And we got Gilio with 8 seconds to serve their penalty. So this did hurt Gilio quite a bit. They are both pretty much neck and neck as soon as Gilio comes off their cooldown. I will say Abandoned Prison is a little bit harder zone, so if Gilio can clear this in the same time as IMXL, they'll be slightly ahead, but not by much. Peliquin, welcome in. How you doing over on the TikToks, my friend? Let's see what we got going here. And again, Woodish does take Isle of Kin as well. We already have IMXL looking like they're taking the lead by taking on their first boss fight in Act 4. As long as they don't go down here, this is a little bit tough of a boss fight as he is a very tanky boss and does belt out a lot of damage the longer this fight goes. He takes a few buff ups that really do a lot of damage to you when you're fighting the Lord of Kin. Right, now we got the Prisoner. This is a little bit easier of a boss fight than Lord of Kin. Not quite as tanky, but you do have the added mechanics. Woodish doing an excellent job. And they are already into Volcanic Warrens, chasing down Lord of Kim. I Am Exile taking first, and they got Lord of Kim down. And Gilio and Luxon working on the prison first, and Gilio obviously very ahead by taking on the prisoner now. Got it frozen. Got the crossbow hit. And then we're going to do one more of those. So this is where the prisoner is very dangerous, but it doesn't matter as much on the Huntress because of the damage they do. They're going to hit the ballista again before it can move and pop it down. So Gilio doing a great job on that boss fight. That one little mishap hurt them quite a bit, but they'll do just fine. They'll do just fine. Also, if you guys are enjoying this, having a good time checking out Path of Exiles with us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me here. Always trying to put out good Path of Exiles content here on the YouTube, and also just fun, entertaining stuff as well as we play different games. We do a lot of fun, silly things on stream, and make sure to clip that for you all. All right, we got Woodish, who's actually not very far behind the leading two, taking on Lordakin himself. We have Gilio now heading to the Voltaic Warrens for Lordakin, and I Am Exile into the abandoned prison. Gilio has a good chance to reclaim first here if they can get through this boss fight very, very quickly. Abandoned prison is a little bit longer of a zone than the Isle of Kin. So that does play to Gilio's advantage to retake first here, and I think they're just a little bit ahead right now. Not by much, we're talking 5 seconds here between I Am Exile and Gilio. Let's see what they do here. And Woodish has also entered the abandoned prison, going right along. So they're pulling up the rear by about 30 seconds. Ooh, Luxian has served another death timer, and this one is for 1 minute and 30 seconds. So just so you guys understand, each death timer goes longer each time you go down. So this is the 3rd time Luxian has gone down, so they're serving a full 1 minute and 30 seconds, which may bump them out of the top 4. We'll see here in a moment if that bumps them out. We might see our Druid friend back again, I don't know, we'll see. All right, we got the prisoner ripping and rolling for I Am Exile. And Gilio neck and neck on the Lord of Kin. So they're literally seconds apart from each other. It's going either which way. If you're watching a race car, it's kind of going like this right now with Gilio and I Am Exile. Just back and forth. Woodish finally making it to solitary confinement, so he's a good 30 seconds, 45 seconds behind Gilio and I Am Exile right now. And Luxian looks like they're going to stay in 4th, and they're going to keep getting to go through the prison. But they are currently 2 full boss fights down from I Am Exile and Gilio, which is quite a distance in Act 4. That is a lot of space. Gilio takes the lead, heading over to Shrike Island, so they're slightly ahead of I Am Exile by about 1/4 of the health on the prisoner. So not a lot, but about a good 10-15 seconds ahead of I Am Exile. Gilio taking that lead back after going down. Yeah, if Gilio can really limit their deaths here on the later parts of Act 4, I think they have a much better gear set up, and they're a little bit faster than everybody right now. They got the Twister build online. They're utilizing maces for movement, which has been really good to see, so that they're not getting caught in bad spots. Yeah, their ability to dodge is just wonderful. So, and this is what we had traditionally seen out of the Warriors, what you're watching Gilio do. Gilio is using some of that tech on her Huntress just to go through and stay on top of being able to dodge roll and get through the map efficiently. And this is where Warriors really excelled in Acts 3 and 4. And Gilio's using that tech on her Huntress and doing a very, very good job with it. Look at how much screen clear you're getting to get through the map. And they're working, both Gilio and IMXL both working through Shock Island. Woodish working through there first. Oh, and we did see the drop off. We have Whole New Society, which is a mercenary, coming in. They're working through the prison. They've already got Isle of Kin down. So we did see our couple of huntresses drop out of the top 4, and we got a very mercenary heavy top 4 right now with Gilio just leading them. Uh-oh. We got a reload from Gilio, which is not very good. That did put them behind. It looks like IM Exile is taking the lead over them. We'll see how much that hurts them. They did have about a 15-second lead over IM Exile. We got Woodish joining the fight now on Shrike Island, so they're moving right along. They're keeping up their third place pace and doing a great job. Also, make sure to check the Path of Exile's forums if you want more information about racing and when they're doing these events. They do post that on their official forums. And that is going to be at pathofexile.com/forums. And that'll give you everything you need to know about all the race events going on across Path of Exiles. All right, we got Whole New Society, who is now our new 4th place pacemaker, getting the prisoner finished out so he can join everybody on Shrike Island. Gilio did stay pretty well ahead. They're doing just fine. They're getting through the Scourge of the Skies very efficiently right now. Got to be a little careful here. No, they did a great job on positioning on that attack. Good job. Then we got IM Exile starting the fight. They're doing their gas explosions now and doing a great job there with positioning. Really chunking away at Scourge of the Skies. I think the damage on IM Exile is starting to be a little bit stronger on some of the fights than Gilio, but not by much. They're pretty similar right now. Like, I think if we get into the more open maps where these boss fights are, I think you're going to see Gilio struggle a little more than IM Exile on these. All right, we got Gilio into Asteries and IM Exile into Asteries. Here we go. Woodish right behind him, right on Scourge of the Skies. He's done a good job keeping up, man. He could still surprise us all and win this whole thing. Whole New Society really pulling up the rear here, still about a minute behind. So he's got some ground to gain. I do think it's about a 3-way race right now between Gilio, Woodish, and IM Exile, if I'm being honest, though. Unless we see some terrible mistakes, Whole New Society could sweep in. He's not insanely far behind, but he's still got some catching up to do. I think it's all going to really matter on who goes down on the Act 4 boss fight and who doesn't, on to see how that landscape changes here as we get into our 3rd hour. We're 6 minutes away from being 2 hours in, and these crazy animals are just ripping through Act 4 right now. This is just crazy to watch. Usually at about 2 hours in, I am working through the middle parts of Act 3 in Jaquanis. Just to kind of give you comparison of how fast these guys are going. And I am not a slow Path of Exiles player by any stretch. I've played for 2,000 hours. But I am not a professional speedrunner, that is for sure. As good as I am, these guys are great. My hat's off to every single one of them. This is just crazy to watch. Man, Gilio, my favorite part when I'm watching their gameplay is really their positioning. They have really good positioning to watch. They do an excellent job on their positions. When they're fighting mobs, when they're fighting bosses, very few mistakes coming out of them. We saw one that was real egregious, but outside of that, they've been very, very consistent. IM Exile has really gotten away with not having as good a positioning, but really utilizing a heavier shield build. with the maces instead of that two-handed build. And the blocking has really saved his bacon in quite a few stuff, which is a good thing if you're a mercenary. You need that extra block as you're jumping through mobs. Alright, we got one of the nastier fights in the game. The Strades fight. If you don't play these mechanics, you do know well that this boss can really rip you down. If all classes were limited to their typical skill weapons, like Wolf Form only for Druid, who would win this race in your opinion? Honestly, I think it would still be either Mercenaries. No, I gotta be honest with you, I think it'd be Warriors, because I think Warriors just have the best movement skills in the game right now. Where they can chunk move through the map. I think you'd see a lot more Warriors like we did traditionally in Season 4 for speedrunning, if they were much more limited than what they are today. Where you could only play like Mace if you were a Warrior, or play Talisman if you were a Druid, and Spear or Bow if you were a Huntress or Ranger. I still think Warrior with their Mace skills just have superb movement. Even though they're a little slower in the earlier acts, their abilities to get through Act 4 and the interludes would be so much faster that they would just overtake everybody. As you're seeing now, as IMXL and Gilio are utilizing those Mace skills once they have the Ground Slam to do it. Man, and just so close, all three of them. So Gilio jets out ahead, gets through the Strades boss. And then, yeah, you have Woodish just really pulling up very consistently right behind him. Whole New Society is looking for that Strades boss fight now, so he is making some pretty decent ground. I don't think he's doing a bad job by any stretch. We didn't get to see his earlier progression, so I think he may have gotten a little bit behind, but he's starting to make that up really nicely here. Alright, this is the boss fight. IMXL and Gilio is one of the hardest, so let's watch this Gilio boss fight. So he does some really nasty one-shot mechanics combined with some very, very strong attacks. I don't expect them to get beat by the one-shot mechanics, but some of those strong attacks can catch you off guard in combination, so we'll see how they do. I know more often than not with my Huntress, I have a very easy time on this fight, but I'm not sure how Mercenary will do. It is a little bit more of an open map, though, so you don't quite get the damage you're used to getting on the Huntress. Yeah, just superb positioning from Gilio. They know exactly where to go before the boss does the move. They've very obviously done this for a long time. Like, look how nicely they dodged that one-shot mechanic. That was very beautiful. Woodish currently wrapping up Strades right now. Doing a very, very good job. And then Whole New Society pushing to that Strades boss. And IMXL is looking for the Excavation boss now that Gilio is on. Very nicely done. So that is one of the one-shot mechanics out of this boss fight that Gilio's taking on, and did a very good job anticipating it, so that they weren't on top of the boss when they started their segments for it. That is one thing that does get not as well veteran players when they're dealing with those types of mechanics. And Gilio gets it down without insult to injury. Takes over with a little bit of a lead here. And boss is finally down as Takahama slams its face into the dirt. Very nice, very nice. And IMXL begins his fight. Let's see how IMXL does with some of the positioning here. Very nicely done, anticipating the rock slam. Gets that stun off with the Merc skill so he can just sit there and spam them. Very nicely done with the war cry. And the pillars come down as he gets to nuke. His damage, like I said, is slightly better, so see how much more damage he's getting down than Gilio did. So he's going to avoid a lot more of these mechanics. So as soon as this comes down, ooh, and he went into his one-shot. That is unfortunate, but IMXL does a good job working through it. And now he's just got the rest of the boss to beat down. Just got very unlucky and a couple of one-shots coming down at the same time to waste his time. And he gets it down just fine. Good job, I'm Exile. Nicely done. Putting on a clinic of how to take care of that rough boss. Alright. Chilio's going through the Tukahama cutscene right now with the hooded one. And we are out of the excavation for Gilio. Going back to town. Now this is it. This is where we're heading towards. Act 4 end boss. Here we come. I Am Exile's got about 40 seconds of a cutscene here, and then he'll be caught right up to Gilio. Woodish fighting the Astrades fight. I think this is his second time. He must have gone down when we weren't looking. That is unfortunate. That really hurt Woodish. We got Whole New Society taking up that third place spot now. Just right on the heels of I'm Exile. And Gilio just taking off, not having to wait in that cutscene anymore. They're on their way out. Yeah, if Woodish isn't careful, he's going to drop out of the top 4 if he keeps messing around with the Astrades boss. He has got to get it here and get moving. And Whole New Society is into the cutscene with Tukahama. And I Am Exile is heading into the first zone for the Act 4 final boss. And Gilio just hit the second zone in Heart of the Tribe. So I Am Exile dropped about a whole zone behind, which is still about 30-45 seconds. So they're still in an okay spot, but they got to get moving. Let's see what happened with Woodish. I wasn't looking. I can't tell if... Oh, he's into the excavation. Good. So he got the Astrades fight done. That's going to keep him in 4th. He has got to get his ass moving, though. Oh, crap. That time sync did get him, and Luxian caught him. Luxian is going through in the excavation ahead of him. So now we're switching over to Luxian, which is now taking 4th place. That battle for 4th is a very important one for these qualifier matches. And if Luxian could sneak in there here at the end, that would be great for them. Yep, Luxian's far ahead. They're already starting the excavation boss fight. Oh, they're finishing it. Very nice. Yeah, Luxian ahead of Whole New Society by about 45 seconds. And Gilio is getting prepped for their Act 4 boss fight as we speak. I'm going to grab a drink here real quick so I don't miss the Act 4 boss fights. All right, cheers to my friends here. Having a little zero sugar monster. Got my workout in today, so we're a little bow-legged. By the way, if you guys are having fun, make sure to click that like and sub on the profile here. Follow, sub, all that good stuff across all the platforms we're on. Super appreciate y'all coming in and watching and enjoying the cast with me today. And Ra, happy to have you come join our Discord and be a part of our guild, man. We're excited to play with you. Lady Havoc! Good to see you, girl. All right, we got Gilio. He's taking on the first phase. He's into the second phase on the Act 4 final boss. We got I Am Exile getting ready to take on his first phase. Whole New Society just hit Heart of the Tribe. And then we got Luxian getting ready to go into Naganu. Such hard words to pronounce, man. Alright, let's see how Gilio does here. This is a very tough fight with his phasing, so this is the second of 3 phases. He's got second phase Frozen, which is good. They can do some really nasty damage there with the ice that you're seeing. It chases you around the map, but they're working it well. Very nice positioning here. I Am Exiles getting ready to start the fight himself for the first phase still. And then Luxian and Whole New Society working their way to the boss fight. All right, we got third phase for Gilio if they can beat it here. Here we go. Here we go. Moment of truth. Can we get it on third phase? He's going to do the most damage. This is when Tavaki is the most dangerous. All right, here we go. Exile's gotten through the first phase. He's on to the second in the bottom middle there. Gilio, can you do it? Come on, Gilio. Oh, yeah, he's got it. He's got it. Missed the last hit. Missed the last hit. Perfect. What great positioning out of Gilio. That was a beautiful showing of what you can do on Twister. Very impressive. All right. I'm XL. I think that is working on second or third form. I can't tell. We'll see here in just a second. Yep, he's on the third form, so he got the second done while we were watching Gilio. Let's see if I'm XL can push through here. This is one of the highest death rate spawn bosses in the game. So most hardcore characters go down here. This is one of the hardest fights at the point you're at. And as you can see, he's just getting a torrent of stuff flinged at him. Oh, what a bad mix. And the slam on top. Don't want to stay in those pillars. Ooh, in the ice. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. We're reloading, we're reloading. He's got to, he's got to. He's about to go down. There's the reload. Oh, man. Poor I Am Exile. Whole New Society can take him here if he can win this boss fight here. Impressive indeed. Yeah, this is a very, very hard fight. Whole New Society, you gonna take second? You got it in you? You got the health and defense, that's for sure. Let's see what you do. Very nicely done. There's the slam. Missed all the fire. He's gotten a much nicer set of stuff to shoot at him. He's not getting frozen. Very good, very good. Keep working on him, keep working on him. One last slam, and you got him, you got him. Nice movement, nice movement. And we got our new second place runner, Whole New Society, pushing through. All right, I Am Exile going for a second. Uh-oh. He's dropped back to fourth. Luxian caught him as he's taken on the third form of Tavaki. And I can't remember if this goes to Act 4 Interlude, so we'll see here in just a moment, friends. It looks like we're going just to Act 4, so Gilio looks like they're all done. I think they may save the interludes for the full Exile Con race. But yeah, Gilio's just hanging out after, so I think that'll be it after this, friends. All right, Luxian about to sneak into third, I think. Here we go, here we go. Man, Gilio did so good. That was such an impressive run. And Luxian takes third. We got I Am Exile fighting to keep fourth. He is in third form against Tavaki. Let's see if they get it. Oh yeah, much easier set. I think they're going to do just fine. Got to be a little patient here, and they're going to get it here. They're going to get 4th place. And there it is. There he's got it. Oh, excuse me. That was only the 2nd phase. We still got 3rd phase to go. My fault, my fault. Let's see if he gets it. Can he secure 4th here? If he does not get it here, he will drop out of 4th place. Oh yeah, much better this time around. Oh no! He gets it! He gets it, but he dies! Oh man! No! He was right there! He doesn't get the win, and he has a... That gives him a full 2-minute, 15-second cooldown. Oh my gosh! What a terrible turn of events. I think that is going to kick him out.
Shield equipped, and you can do that while paused, so you can do it safely if you know the ability's coming. If it's the first ability, you get a chance to look at that totem, get that shield equipped, and do that safely. But obviously, we saw Exile get claimed by that, frozen by that, and die there twice, which is really rough for them. So we have a pretty good idea of what they're going to be practicing in the lead up to next week. But we know Exile's a contender for one of the qualifiers.
Wow, what a race, guys!
As well. So congrats to Giluo on that astounding Huntress win for the brand new Huntress Twister strategy there. What do you think of that, Rice? Pretty good stuff, eh, mate?
You guys are seeing us because Exile ended up tapping out, and I think a large chunk of that was the psychological damage he withstood,
Yes.
not just in Act
no.
4, but also Act
Oof.
2. That crossbow was just not up to par. He needed more. The Huntresses, if they don't die, the records, they get crazy. And Juluo showed us exactly that. It might have not been the under 2-hour PBs that we've seen, but it's still insane.
Exile did actually secure the kill there, despite dying. As long as you get the kill, if you die as well.
So they did give it to him, by the way. They gave him 4th, even though he got the kill as he went down. Man, what a razor line to the finish.
He did not give up. The reason why he stood in was because the grenades were killing the boss. Okay, sorry, guys.
So yeah, it looks like our qualifiers are only going to Act 4, guys, so we'll watch our next 3 as they come out.
Twice there. It's definitely got a sting, so he's going to be most likely practicing that. But that was...
We're going to look up when our next ones are.
Race? I don't remember them doing other ones in the past. Obviously, he's a long-term part of Exile Racer, but...
He's been practicing for weeks now, but he hasn't participated in any of the other ones. I think maybe in the first season, he was just messing around, but it wasn't the level of practice that he was putting in this time around. He wants to qualify for both games. But for PoE1, to say that he's got a fair chance is an understatement. I think he's the favorite for the whole event, if I'm being for real.
So here is all of our race events. We're going to cast all of these, just so you guys can all see.
He's in the running. He's up there.
So once a week, we're going to get some qualifiers.
Coming out victorious.
Here's our goal.
Again, it's not just the Huntress proving to be better. This is the first time. I mean, if I'm okay, I'll be completely honest.
There you guys go.
We've had races where it was the rest of the world versus the Chinese players. It was always a blowout. It was never close. But for whatever reason, in PoE2, the Chinese players really
have a great day, Ra.
And to have the first
glad you came to hang with us, my man.
Go to one of them. It's not just a win for the Huntresses. It's a win for the entire community. Amazing job for them. I'm really looking forward to seeing Juluo at ExileCon. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So very excited.
So yeah, that was very fun, guys. Glad you guys had a blast watching with us. I had a great time hanging out and doing all this with y'all. It was a ton of fun. Thanks for catching us. Got our sleeping poppers back here. We will be back next week to do the second qualifier race. And yeah, we're going to start right on time. We'll go do the second race. We'll go watch it all together, and I'll commentate and hang with y'all. And then throughout the week, we're still working on World of Warcraft and Pal World, so make sure to hop into the Discord, like, follow, subscribe, all those good things. Come hang out with us as we're having fun. But yeah, I'm going to take about a 45-minute off stream break here, eat dinner, and we're going to come back for World of Warcraft for the evening. So thank you guys for hanging out, checking out the Path of Exiles races, and glad you guys all got to hang. Have a great night. And we will see y'all back in about 45 minutes.